Land of power, land of might, exceptional rage, endless fight, patriot bulldozer, leading the way, crushing all foes, making them pay. Flag in hand, fury in eyes, screams of pride, ignoring lies, iron grip, ruthless and cold, American dream, fierce and bold, bow before the storm, unstoppable wave, marching forward, no soul to save, bulldozers wrath, tearing apart, exceptionalism, fire in the heart, no retreat, no surrender, bulldozers force, a savage offender, red, white, blue, burning bright, in the chaos he finds delight, blazing trails of destruction left, in the name of the blessed of theft, freedom's price, a crimson blade, bulldozer, savage again, legend made, bow before the storm, unstoppable wave, marching forward, no soul to save, bulldozers wrath, tearing apart, exceptionalism, fire in the heart. Blazing trails of destruction left, in the name of the blessed of theft, freedom's price, a crimson blade, bulldozer, savage of fate, legend made, bow before the storm, unstoppable wave, marching forward, no soul to save, bulldozers wrath, tearing apart, exceptionalism, fire in the heart.
Good evening, everybody. Hope you all are having a wonderful evening, and I hope it's been a decent past couple days. Welcome to the Dozer Den. Thank you so much for joining this episode of the Dozer Den. Don't forget to smash that like button, thump it, caress it, give it a good talking to, lean in real close to that like button, whisper sweet nothings in its ear, and give it all you got. Guys, that like button's very important. You must smash the hell out of it. Anyways, here's some really cool ways that you can support this channel. You can follow Bulldozer74. You can comment in the comment section. Share this stream out with your loved ones, your friends or family, your ex-girlfriends, boyfriends, Zers, and friends. I'm not judging, just so long as you don't involve children or animals and you keep it consensual between adults and preferably behind closed doors. Guys, we are currently streaming to Rumble, X, BitChute, Pill.net, thedozerden.locals.com, and I guess CommieTube for as long as they will let me stay on there. I think I got lucky and managed to avoid a strike on Saturday, even though I did play a song. I played one, just one, but it might have been old enough that they're not very, or maybe that artist doesn't have the auto feature or whatever it is. I don't know how the hell that works. I think some artists are a little bit more relaxed when it comes to that. Others are pretty damn quick to jump on it and have it set up to where it's like an auto copyright strike. But yeah, that stream seems to still be there, at least the last I checked. But YouTube works in mysterious ways. So, by the way, you can follow me on YouTube as well. I've got like 34 or 35 subscribers there. I've been putting out a few shorts, just like storm content. If you guys didn't have a chance to check it out, I might play it later. I did post a very short, like a 20-second video the other day, yesterday, I believe, because I was watching Therapy Range, and he mentioned one of his videos where he shot a beverage. And I went and checked it out. 37 subscribers on YouTube. Oh, look at that. We're moving on up. Oh. I don't expect YouTube to grow. But hey, if it does, it does. That's pretty cool. Wherever I can get the information and hopefully a little bit of entertainment out. Appreciate you, Trader Todd. That is where I'm going to do it. We've got 6 different platforms that we are currently streaming to. I did see that Rumble has developed a direct RTMP, and you know what? If that's going to make the streaming experience better, especially on Saturdays, which is the show that is specifically for the audience. I mean, it's always for the audience, but it is highly focused on the audience on Saturdays for the Dozer Dan DJ Hour. If we can avoid having to do a little workaround, like we have been, to make the videos sound better on Rumble, and do it through another streaming platform, as long as it's still counting to our Rumble studio hours, then we might just bite the bullet and start doing that. And I may have a... What? What's up, Lord of the Ring? Good to see you. Sorry for that little bit of an intermission there. Had to mediate between the two little ladies. The 7-year-old was being a butt. The 9-year-old was not happy about it, so she was almost asleep. 7-year-old went in there and took the blanket that she was using to prop the door open. And she was very grumpy about this, and she had to come tell me and express her feelings. So dad duty. Yeah, it's a little bit. I let them stay up a little bit late. They were out playing. It's staying late a lot later, so they were out riding bikes and hanging out with me when I was watering the flowers. By the way, the irises, the roses are starting to pop. The peonies are about to bloom. This is my favorite time of year, guys. I love flowers. The hydrangeas are looking damn good. My goodness. Trump has a blue suit. The left has blue balls. Well, that's all they're allowed to have, Lord of the Ring. The left is only allowed to have blue balls. What's up, Yanni Fangs? Good to see ya. Howdy doody. Exactly. Pretty much. I was doing dad duty. Man. As they're aging, their emotions are getting far more complex, and navigating those waters can be rather treacherous at times. Last night, I was a bit of a jerk, and I had to apologize for that, because that's the thing as a parent. When you mess up, you got to acknowledge it, because I think kids are little people too. A lot of people forget that, but children are little human beings, and they do have, you have to consider their feelings and consider, the way they may take things. And my 9-year-old has a tendency to be a bit of a hypochondriac, and after the 20th time of hearing the same complaint, I was a little bit grumpy about it, and I wasn't the nicest dad. And I later had to apologize for that. So, kids are people too. Damn right. Damn right. And that's the thing. I was out of pocket, and I acknowledged that, and I went and told her. And I think that's the best way to do it, because kids know that you're not perfect, and they sense that, and it's important to acknowledge that and try to do better when you do screw up a little bit, when you might come off a little bit too harsh. It happens sometimes. That's right. That's right. But yes, the blue suit. I we'll talk about it in a second. But I had a very interesting Monday to start off the week. Seems like things are starting to level out, though. So that's a good thing. Things are starting to level out. Kids are people too. They deserve to make a living. Child labor. Yeah. What are child labor laws? Apparently in Florida, people are saying that DeSantis is going to put the kids to work. It sounds like what they're doing in Florida, from what the cursory glance that I took of what they're doing there, it sounds like they're wanting teenagers like 13 and 14 to be able to. It sounds like they're trying to remove some of the restrictions that keep them from working as much, if they were in a situation where, I don't know, maybe they have to work, or maybe they want to work. I know I started working when I was 14 years old, throwing hay bales. And then I turned 15, never actually got a worker's permit. I don't know if I was supposed to or not, but I started working in an orchard, and they forgot. I guess they looked at how hard I was working. They assumed I was over 18. So they started scheduling me for 40 plus hour weeks. I was getting overtime at 15 years old in the summers, man. I was loving it. And then the supervisor, the scheduling supervisor, realized that I was 15, and you could hear the puckering going on when they realized that, because technically a 15-year-old is not allowed to work overtime. Technically, I wasn't supposed to be working 40 hours a week, but I wasn't gonna say nothing. I was having a good time. I was able to buy my first car that first summer. I ended up saving up $950, and I got a 1993 Mitsubishi Eclipse that smoked more than my mother. Oh man. I think at a certain age, I think kids should be able to work. Yes, and depending on the situation, you know, the restrictions might need to be relaxed a little bit. I think it's a case by case basis, but I am absolutely all for your kids getting a job when they can, when they're responsible enough to handle it. Yeah, it's basically taking the privilege of having a worker's permit and extending it to everyone. I never did the worker's permit thing. Maybe I was supposed to. Throwing hay bales is great exercise. I will say I don't ever want to throw alfalfa again, though. That was disgusting. Not fun. Not fun to throw alfalfa. Mm-mm. Very, very dusty. And I think coal mines, but get in there. You got those little hands. You can get those. You can get you can get to what the grown man can't. Oh man. But yeah, guys. You can also repost this stream here on Rumble. That helps spread the word so that we may welcome more killdozers here into the Dozer Den. By the way, we do have a couple more followers that decided to pop on. Slay Money from 3 hours ago, and Adastra 23 from 6 hours ago. Thank you so much for following Bulldozer 74. I hope I earn your viewership, and to all my viewers, I hope I continue to earn your viewership, and I hope to continue to infotain you as much as possible. That's the goal here. I stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Central. Information, entertainment, infotainment. That's the name of the game here in the Dozer Den. If I can help make a crap sandwich just a little bit more palatable, well, I feel like I have done something worthwhile. That's the goal here. You know what? If you've noticed that result, God bless you. Hasn't worked for me yet. I'll keep trying, damn it. Oh, man. But yes, weather's warming up. Gonna have to get a window unit for the window over there. My mother-in-law's got an extra one in her storage garage. She said it's smaller than the current one that we have. The current one that we have is a bit of a bruiser. I had to cut a piece of the vinyl out of that window to get it to fit. You know, sometimes it's a little bit big, and you gotta work its way in there, and sometimes you gotta ease up, and sometimes you just gotta force it in there. And I forced it in there, and it seems to work for the most part. But I don't have it in there right now, though. It's not that hot yet. I can still deal with it. Still deal with what we got going on right now. It's not too hot. Got up to 82 or so today, maybe 83. That humidity here in Missouri, though, my goodness gracious, guys, especially southeast Missouri, there's a reason I call it Swamp East Missouri. This all used to be swampland, a lot of it, wetland. Um, Random aside, though, did I tell you guys that when I was out fishing the other day, I saw freaking pelicans, pelicans and seagulls in southeast Missouri? I didn't realize they were that migratory, but apparently they are. Absolutely baffling. I would not want to. If I was a small child, I wouldn't want to encounter a pelican. They'll try to eat you. They'll try to put a kid in their mouth. Yep, and they could probably fit a small baby. They could fit a baby in there. I bet you they could fit a 2-year-old in there. Have to watch Mini Dozer if we ever go to the ocean. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness gracious! It looks like we have gotten ourselves a raid from Common Censored. Thank you so much for the raid.
Giggity.
Appreciate that. To all those joining from the raid, if you could go ahead and kindly smash that like button. There's the It's a good re. Sterling had a pretty damn good show earlier. I wasn't able to watch the second half of it because my phone was about to die, so I left it on the charger while I was watering the beautiful flowers. Damn right. What's up, TV Green? Good to see ya. What's up, Trish? Good to see you. Lovely mod in the chat. Holy crap, I'm here, not well, but monitoring the chat, need surgery, but can't get a doctor's appointment till January. I've been fighting doctors, hospitals, and insurance companies for over a week now. My goodness, Trish, I am so sorry to hear that you're going to have surgery. Hopefully someone can get you in a little bit sooner. That is absurd. It is April. Well, praying that you are going to be able to get in and see somebody for whatever ails you, Trish. That is never fun when you're trying to get a health issue figured out and they're stringing you along. So, goodness gracious. What's up, Kennedon, Mama Mac, Rachel Boone? That's right. Prayers to Trish. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Well, guys, we do have a show tonight. We do have a show. First topic on the agenda. Did you see how disrespectful that Cheeto dictator was to the memory of Pope Francis? Did you guys see? That bastard, he wore, I can't believe it, he wore a blue suit to the funeral, guys. There's a new sound just for that. What's up, Chris? God Signpost. Good to see you. What's up, Sertorius01? Lovely to see you. I'll be dead by then. My God, that's morbid as fuck. I hope that's not the case. What's your surgery for? My goodness. Ah, man, I had a family member. This isn't tied to the family emergency that I had last week, but I had a family member today have to go to the ER. Hopefully they're doing okay. But haven't heard anything bad, so I guess everything's all right. I guess I'll know when I know. Oh, man. But that was loud? Shit. Sorry, Entropy Nomad. I'll give a warning next time when I'm about to play something that might be a little loud. If I blasted your eardrums for the headphone and earbud users, my apologies. I'll pray for healing for your eardrums. What's up, Skunk71? Good to see you. Made the cat jump. That was a little loud. Sorry. I need to figure out a way to control the volume on those sounds, because some of them are pretty loud. Good to know, though. Thanks for letting me know it was too loud. I'll try to figure it out. But yeah, he wore a blue suit. And apparently the Vatican said wear black. And you know, guys, he was the only one. He was the only one. Or was he? Seems like the media may have lied. Once again, I know, I'm surprised. Don't know who's honking right now, but it is 9:48 at night here. That's right, Central Time, guys. The best time. The only time that really matters. Central Time. But welcome to the Dozer Den, to everybody coming over here from the raid. If you could, smash that like button, comment in the comment section, share this stream out with your loved ones, your friends, your family, ex-girlfriends, boyfriends, users, and friends. Don't really care, as long as it's consensual and not involving children or pets. You can also, if you really want to support this channel, Bulldozer74, you can subscribe to Bulldozer74 for a measly $5 a month. That's just a couple sodas a month, guys. We're up to 7 active monthly subscribers. And if you don't want to do that, you can also donate through Venmo, Cash App, Rumble Rant, or you can gift out subs to your fellow chatters. You can help turn the chat mega red. It is one of the best things that you can do. First time, Braden McGroin, first time here, came with the Sterling crowd. Freaking welcome, Braden. Good to see you, bud. Thanks for coming on over. Always good to see a new member here on the Dozer Den. If you didn't know, I stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Central. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, we're a little bit news heavy. We do 3 to 4 news topics. Then I have a bit of a palate cleanser at the end. And we usually have a little bit of a Massey minute in there to give Thomas Massey his due, as he is one of the most constitutionally consistent individuals in Congress. One of the few congressional individuals that I kind of trust, and that's a weird thing for me to say. Very weird, because I don't trust politicians, and even him, I wouldn't trust him 100%. I'll trust anybody 100%, except the good Lord. But if you guys have not followed this channel yet, help me get to 1,000. We are creeping up there ever so slowly. We are at 867 followers here, guys. If we factor in all the people over on locals, well, that's getting close right there. That's like 900. And that's pretty solid. We'll get there eventually. If you subscribe for that $5 a month, you can do it in locals, thedozerden.locals.com, or here on Rumble. You will get access to a plethora of amazing emotes, such as whoosh, the slap of the peach, guys. Look at the jiggle physics on that emote. I slaved away for close to 2 hours finding all of those emotes, some animated, some not. Just for you. You awesome killdozers here in the Dozer Den. Oh, man. And like I said, guys, your name will be lit up in the most beautiful shade of MAGA red. It's the Rumble Rash, some might call it. And the only treatment is more America. Here is the co-host, Bobble Trump. He's chilling in the corner usually. I forgot to put him up there. Nobody puts Bobble Trump in the cut corner. Well, I did for a minute, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. But it happened. What's up, Tulip McGroin? My favorite type of groin, tulips. That's the best right there. Excuse me. Froze? Or just... Did I freeze? I best not have. Let's get to the top here. It doesn't look like I froze. You had to refresh. Okay. Rumble has been very busy recently, so... yeah, there's that. But guys, if you haven't smashed that like button yet, go ahead and smash that like button. It's a thumbs up now. In the old days of Rumble, if you were here in the beginning of Rumble, guys, instead of a plus sign, or a plus button, or fucking Christ, instead of a thumbs up, it used to be a plus sign. We affectionately refer to it as the plussy. That's Plussy. Get your filthy minds out of the gutter. You could smash the plussy, pound that plussy, wreck the plussy. Sometimes you gotta grab them by the plussy. It's consensual, they let you. That's right. Or you got to run Blussy. Smash the run Blussy. Do it hard. Trish, not frozen. No, not frozen. Okay, good deal. It might just be. Sometimes I think it depends on the area that you're in for Rumble. Sometimes they're pushing updates, or sometimes they're working on things. So, yeah. Let's see. We will do our best to decode your typing, Rachel. Thanks for joining. I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you back here. The funny that song is basically the blue alien forcing people to watch him play a song. Yes. It's a good one. Yeah. Because he's blue. He's a sad little alien. Did you guys like the thumbnail, by the way? That's Blue Trump. Grok did well. I use Grok for my thumbnails. And they do a pretty good job. So, hopefully I'm not missing here anything. Good Lord. Oh man. But yes, that is the first topic. We're going to get into that. We're going to cover it. We're going to analyze whether or not the media is full of crap. If you have not followed thedozerden.locals.com, check it out, thedozerden.locals.com. It's free to follow, but if you want to participate in the live chat or post there in that little community, you do have to pay $5 a month, and when you do that, it actually gives you the red rash here as well, the Rumble rash, and you will get access to all of those awesome emotes. They're quite fun. Some people just like using emotes. That's one of my languages, guys. Emotes and memes and GIFs. It's one of the things that I do like about the pill.net live chat. They call them stickers, but they're gifts. They're gifts and memes. And yeah, it's a good time. I do apologize for any of the allergy sounds. I am battling the allergies as hard as I can. What's up, JJR? Good to see you, man. The Trump thumbnail looks like a blueberry violet. Yeah, that's kind of what it ended up doing. Hey, thanks, JJR, for the red pill over there on pill.net. It's a pretty free speech platform over there. It's interesting. I'm not as active over there as I would like to be, but I'm the one who controls that, so I need to start doing that. Or Papa Smurf without the beard. I figured it was just an eye-catching little little thumbnail. So let's see how we're doing on that like button. We're at 19, including myself, because why not like your own stream? I mean, if you don't like your own stream, what are you doing, right? Guys, update. If you weren't here on Saturday for the Dozer Den DJ hour, first of all, sorry about being so late getting the show ready. I was celebrating Easter at Mama Dozer's, and we were out fishing for a good long while, so I did not get home until like 9:20 or 9:15, and so I did not get the stream set up within very much time. So, do apologize for that. Heck yeah, first red pill over there on pill. Appreciate you, JJR. Bulldozer. Cheddar Steve. Guys, I was just about to get to that, Cheddar Steve. I was about to tell the tale of what happened. It was the most lucrative stream I have had on Rumble, thanks in part to this absolute freaking mad lad, Cheddar Steve. And I've told the tale at the first communion party for my daughter that I will be cutting my hair. And not just cutting, because guys, for a few months I have been saying that if somebody donated $200 to Venmo or Cash App, that I would cut my hair. I'd do my typical, 1, 2, 3 fade up. Cheddar Steve hit me with, "Would you shave it bald for $250?" I consulted with Lady Dozer as she was in bed already at that point. And yeah, $250. And the mad lad did it. Checked my Venmo. Sure as hell did. Cheddar Steve did it. 250 big ones. Absolutely freaking fantastic. So on Thursday, because Thursday is when we are going to be doing this, Lady Dozer is going to be cutting my hair. She's going to braid it up for me and cut it so that we can donate. I think Locks of Love makes the individuals actually pay for their hair. So we are going to be cutting the hair. It'll be Uncle Fester. Yes, at least I'm dark though. At least I'm not pale. And man, my head's going to burn. I have to wear a hat outside. Or I'll just, let the sun do its work. Speaking of letting the sun do its work, found out. All right. Found out my stepdad has skin cancer on his nose. Yeah. Told my wife, Lady Dozer, she knew Saturday. Nobody told me. But he had to have. I need to check on his ass. Shit. He's 83 years old and an old farmer. And he's had a sore on his big old nose, and he's got a big German nose. He's had a sore there for months, and it's been getting worse. They checked it out. It's basal cell carcinoma, skin cancer. And they worked on him, I think, this morning. And I have not called my mom and checked. Now I feel like a jerk. I forgot. Advertise, bro. Oh, I will. You think get some Bulldozer hats made in the merch store? That's an idea. Somebody was saying that I should make shirts. And we do have a t-shirt press, so I might start doing that. Cue Ball Thursday. Yes, Craig Muttley. Cue Ball Thursday is what's happening. I will be shaving. So we're cutting it, and then we're going to have a bowl of water and conditioner is usually what I like to use for shaving cream. I don't like using shaving cream. I just do conditioner. It's better for my skin. I don't break out when I use conditioner. And so we'll do that. And she will shave my head for me on stream. That's what we're doing Thursday, among other things. We'll get done with that, and then I will do the rest of the show, I suppose. But Cheddar Steve, absolutely fantastic donation, dude. Thank you so much for that support, man. Not gonna lie, kind of really helped out until the next paycheck. So thank you. Sticker Mule thing is pretty cool for merch. I need to check into that. I don't know why I don't have a affiliate thing, like the little orange button. I should contact Rumble about that. Because I mean, I don't have 1,000 followers yet, but I think I get pretty decent views. Saturday stream didn't get many views. Not sure what that's about. I think it's probably because I just didn't get it in there very early. But see you Thursday. Oh, I would have paid $5. You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch, Cheddar Steve. I should have said 300. I thought about it afterwards. Damn it. You'd wear a Killers hat, but those gay flat bill or New Era BS, not that. I feel Lord of the Ree. Wish I didn't have gray in my hair. Could get rich selling it. Well, I've got grays. You know what? I figure maybe somebody who is a little bit older might want some of the grays. Maybe. Nipple piercings for 1,000? Probably not. Probably not, Cheddar Steve. I don't. My nipples. It wouldn't work for me. Mine go. Mine like sometimes they'll pop out, sometimes they don't. You know, just depends. Cheddar Steve, you bastard. uh, Gray and gay. Oh man. But no, apparently my dang stepdad had skin cancer. Nobody knew. Well, I didn't know. But hopefully he's all right. Said that it wasn't anywhere else in his body, but you know, how much for a belly button ring? It's a good question. I could rock a belly button ring. I bet you I could. I'm a little fuzzy. But you get the right belly button ring. Oh man. Y'all are cracking me up. But yeah, after we get done talking about the media bullcrap when it comes to the blue suit fiasco. Oh man, so disrespectful, the blue suit guys. Just so disrespectful. Let's see. Alex, I'll take nipple piercings for 1,000, please. Yes, indeed. Oh man. I said I'd do it though. People are like, oh, he's gonna back out. No, I will absolutely do it. I said I would. He said it. 250. I should have done 300. I should have shot back. I should have done a little bit of haggling with you there. It's Cheddar Steve. But that's fun though. Hell, therapy range. Paul, he was telling me I should have asked for 300 or should have asked for 500. That's what he told me. I mean, yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna do the 200. And then Cheddar Steve out of nowhere with the 250 for the shave. I will be joining the Bald Boys. But can't do it now. I have to wait until Thursday because Wednesday I am going to see Beartooth up in St. Louis and I have to be able to headbang. Okay? This hair, been growing it for like almost 2 years, around 2 years. I have to be able to headbang. And I did think for a second I might the night before just for funsies. I might do the rock mohawk. I'm thinking we might get a bunch of hairspray and we might just move it all up into a lovely mohawk. Because I don't know if I'm going to fit in the car. Because I mean it's up. I mean it's up there. That's not. I wouldn't fit in my car with a mohawk like that. But we are going to make it happen. I think before letting it down, because I don't think I'm going to be able to make it up the whole ride to St. Louis with that. But who's Beartooth playing with? They are playing with Gideon and the Callous Dow Boys. I think those are the only two other bands they're playing with. There might be another one. There probably is another one. Actually, let me check on that real quick. Beartooth, St. Louis. Ah, damn. Father-in-law's okay. Pulled a muscle in his ribs. Not dying. That's good. Because he was the one that went to the ER earlier today. Things are happening, guys. My God. Let me check. Who is Beartooth playing with? They're going to be at the pageant. And let me see. Who are they playing with? Oh, gosh darn it. It's not telling me here. I think it's just the... Oh, here we go. StubHub. Dead Eyes. Dead Eyes is the other one. So I knew there was a third one. So those are the current Gideon, the Callous Cowboys, and Dead Eyes. I have not heard any of their stuff, so I need to probably do a little bit of research and listen to their stuff to see if I like it. I haven't been to the pageant in a while, but oh my God, $8,000 for a wig? If I donate my hair, I want to donate to somebody who's gonna freaking give it to the person for free. Like, I mean, I guess unless somebody has the means, but if they don't have the means, if somebody wants hair, I mean, I think my hair is pretty nice. I take care of it. I'm a little mean to it, but I don't have split ends, so there's that. But oh man, insurance didn't cover it. That sucks, Rachel Boone. Hmm, $8,000. My gosh, that's insane. But yeah, I'll have to check on my stepdad though. Cancer, guys. Apparently, it's everywhere. And he did not take any jabs. Just put it out there. Not that I'm aware of. He's an old German Catholic farmer, 83 years old. That dude, he's going to probably die on his dang tractors, and that'd be the best thing for him. So they don't do that, Bill. They make huge profits for the wigs. I know for Locks of Love they do, but I thought Lady Dozer was saying that Dove might have one that's a little bit freer, or at least maybe they have some programs worked out to help people out. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll research it and figure out who's going to be the best one for it. So my youngest brother's actually a hairdresser. He should know. He's a good resource. He's the one who told me I was actually doing the right thing by trimming these little. This hair here is like a different texture and it does a little curly Q thing. Looks like wings. I don't like it, so I trim it. But I have never dyed this hair or bleached this hair. This hair, I have dyed my hair before, but it was like when I was 19. So that hair has long gone. This hair is all natural, except for the Cantu that I put in it to help it not be as crazy frizzy. And although with this humidity, it's a little bit poofy right now. Second topic of the evening. There seems to be a Putin ceasefire in the works. May 8th and 9th, I think it's going to be like 72 hours that they're planning on initiating a ceasefire for Victory Day, I think they call it, for when the Russians helped end World War II, because we probably wouldn't have been able to win World War II without the help of the Russians. A lot of people forget that. So, yeah, another ceasefire. We'll see if Ukraine deals with this one. I did see that apparently Zelensky was gonna there was more likelihood for a truce because Zelensky was stopped talking about Crimea. Zelensky should have never been talking about Crimea in the first place. Honestly. There's one that doesn't charge the recipient, can't recall their name. Yeah, Lord of the Rings, they probably will, because it's a death cult at this point. It is a sacrifice to Moloch. That is what this is. These little wars that they prop up, it's been World War III. We just haven't acknowledged that it's World War III, but that's exactly what it's been. If you look at everything that's been going on with the different, workings and everything, it's pretty much been World War III, but a cold World War III. Honestly. It's quite frustrating. But yeah, that's the second topic that we're going to talk about. We're going to read through an article about that, get into the specifics, and the third topic of the evening. Third topic of the evening is going to be a kind of heavy one. It is the Unsubscribed podcast had an episode recently where Angry Cops detailed, because I guess he's SVU, and Angry Cops details a horrendous story of Baltimore public schools covering up child abuse. And it's not like, public schools ever would try to do a little bit of CYA and keep things in house whenever another kid was being assaulted. It's not like public schools would ever do that, huh? It's not like the public school system doesn't want to be addressed whenever they fuck up so royally that a kid's life is permanently, or at least possibly permanently altered, depending on the age of the kid, I guess you could say. It's not like a public school to want to do that, right? To avoid the actual proper procedures, to skirt the actual procedure where you're supposed to notify DSS and have an actual investigation come in when you have a child on child. Not like not like anything like that would happen. And I'm not saying that's specifics of this case, but not saying that ever happens, guys. Public school is garbage. If you are able to homeschool your children, homeschool your children. We have decided, Lady Dozer and I, that we are homeschooling our kids next year. Because the public school system is absolutely garbage in most places. And I'm tired of acting like they're worth a damn. I'm tired of trusting my kids to people who do not really care about my kids. I am tired of entrusting my kids to a system that will fuck the family as hard as they fucking can. I am tired of sending my kids to a goddamn daycare when in reality, the fucking work that they get done in elementary school, you can get that shit knocked out in 2 to 3 hours and be done for the rest of the day, and they can do other kids' shit. Oh my God, the public school system is absolute fucking dog shit. And if you have the ability to homeschool your kids. Because guess what, guys? Private schools ain't that much fucking better. Gonna be fucking brutally honest with you. Private schools ain't that much fucking better. You just have to pay a lot more to get fucked. That's about what it is from what I've seen. I haven't gone to private schools specifically myself, but from people that I've talked to, you pretty much are just paying more to get fucked. That's about what it is. So if you can homeschool your children, homeschool your fucking kids. We're going to give it a shot next year. We're probably going to be doing a little bit testing during the summer just to see how they like it. We already know the program that we're going to use. Next thing we need to do is look into the damn the pods. So yeah, fuck public school. And we've got a clip, the video that we're going to go ahead and watch the video. It's like 30 minutes or so of angry cops detailing what happened and going through the specifics of what happened. There you go. If you want to do Venmo or Cash App, boom, there it is. Cool thing about Venmo or Cash App, that goes directly to the Dozer Den. If you do Rumble rants, that's great. But I will say this, 77% of the Rumble rant comes to the creator if you do it in browser. If you do it through the app, they take like 50% because the App Store takes another 22%, or no, yeah, 22%, something like that. So just, if you can, there you go. Nobody ever has to donate monetarily to the Dozer Den, but if you are so inclined, I appreciate the hell out of you because it helps out, guys. Every couple weeks or so, cashing out that little bit helps pay for a bill here and there, pays for some gas, pays for some food. It's nice. It's nice. Cool thing about homeschooling is also the electives you can choose from. Yep. And we will absolutely have I can get the weightlifting and the PE down pat. We can do the history. I would love handling the history aspect of things. The math stuff, eh. But we do need to get involved in a pod or a co-op. That's the next step. We need to research co-ops in our area. 2 more weeks of school. Two more weeks of school. Hopefully, nothing happens. And that's the thing. I'm at a point where I'm like, sending my kid to the public school. Is something going to happen? I don't know. I don't fucking know. And I can't trust. If you can't trust the public school, then are you really doing your job as a parent if you keep sending them there? No, you're not. And I can't keep doing that. So we're gonna let them finish out this year, hopefully, and then it'll be done. And we'll be doing the homeschool stuff. And yeah. There's been 2 more teachers arrested for child abuse in the county over from me. Also, 2 judges the same week. Same town. Trafficking, harboring, and abuse. Oh my God. Scafism. Guys, scafism is the answer for this. We have to start putting these people in place. We have to start. There is no cruel and unusual punishment that is cruel and unusual enough to make me think that they don't deserve it if they've hurt kids in that way. Nope. Scafism. Look it up. Known as the boats as well. That is the appropriate response to people who hurt kids in such a way. It's disgusting. It's an absolutely horrific Syrian form of torture and death, execution. It's not good. Oh yeah. I know Rachel Boone. We've been looking into it. We got one K-12. I think is the one that we're going to be probably using. So hell yeah, Lord of the Ring. You went to a co-op when you were homeschooled. Cool. Now I'm wondering about high school. We might go back to the public school for high school. I don't know yet, though. We'll see. Some people go the whole time. So 2 years of high school and public school? Okay. And that's the thing, yes. Not all of them. Not all of them. But you run into a lot of the same problems. There's all kinds of crappy people everywhere you go. And just because you think the private school is going to be the silver bullet, it's not. There's going to be problems with the private school as well. I'm not saying that there aren't fantastic private schools with the right amount of teacher to student ratio that can do a fantastic job with your kids. I'm not saying that all private schools are garbage. There are more private schools that are decent than public schools. I will say that. I think that's a fair thing to say, and I can probably say that without being incorrect. But then I haven't had the experience directly. So yeah, I know for a fact the middle school is where we're at, and there's been some stuff, and people, oh well, they're not going to get socialization. Maybe that's not the socialization that your kids need. Maybe they don't need to be around a bunch of fucking psychopaths, and not just the students. Okay, bunch of fucking teachers are psychopaths as well. Bunch of people that should never work with kids or working with kids. It's messed up. Problem really boils down to moving away from large. Yeah, that it does, but it's not Lord of the Rings. It's even in small towns. You're gonna run into problems in small towns. You got a town in 10, 15,000. The public schools in that area are gonna suck too. And even in a town of 3,000, my graduating class was 42 or 44. We lost a couple. They There were still issues there. I mean, I did all right, but the thing is, you excel. You excel in a public school in spite of the obstacles that the public school system puts in your way, and it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way for anybody. Even in my little brodozer, she checked me on this when I was talking. I said a kid that is smart, intelligent, well behaved shouldn't feel like their teachers don't give a shit, and shouldn't feel like they are being hindered and prevented from excelling. And he corrected me real quick. He goes, "No kid should feel that way." I was like, "That is absolutely freaking right." Even the kids that do struggle, they shouldn't feel that way either. But it's some of them are. Some of them surely are. So they don't teach your children; they condition your children. A lot of the times that is the case. Yes. The cool thing is, my kids are independent minded, and I've told them absolutely question what your teacher tells you. If it's something that that you have questions about, come home and ask mom and dad. And you know what? We'll try to help you figure out the answer. And maybe we might not know, and we might have to figure it out. But yeah. Well, part of the problem is the standards for teachers has dropped so significantly. That's one of the problems with public schools. That literally in this state, in Missouri, you can be a school teacher with a 2.5 GPA. And I am not sorry about saying that I expect more out of the teachers that are going to be bringing up the next generation. You should be smarter than that. You should be smarter than that to help stimulate the minds of the youth. You might need to have a mind that can handle a kid that's a little bit smarter than you too. Yeah. Oh yes, yes, absolutely, Lord of the Rings. You are statistically better off with a small town. There's a town around here that their graduating class was like 15 or 20, and it was one of the most successful schools academically, and even their basketball team was pretty damn solid too. Really, really good schools. It depends on the size, honestly, but yep, yep. But yeah, we're gonna cover that for a minute. We're gonna cover it's gonna be heavy. It's gonna be probably pretty heavy because I've heard Angry Cops. I haven't actually watched it yet, so we're gonna be watching and listening to it. I tried to find some articles on it, and man, it's kind of hard to find some good articles on this issue in Baltimore. But so I figured we'll just I think his name is Rich, Angry Cops. We'll let him go through it and tell the story. And I've got the link in the description for the articles for the videos that we're going to play tonight. I do have those links in the description, so if you can check those out at some point. um, when school shows turning red to children that are 6 and don't tell their parents and refuse to listen to, yeah, yeah, that was that my 6-year-old shouldn't be watching Turning Red. That's literally about maturing as a woman, maturing as a little girl. Now, when you start to get to that age where that might be happening, I mean, Turning Red with a parent might be something that the kid could watch. I watched the movie. It's an interesting movie. It's not bad necessarily, but I also didn't pay that close attention. I may have been on my phone as well. But Entropy Nomad, a teacher knows the answers. They have the book. Outside of common sense, speaking with and not at children and not sexualizing them, we should hope for so much. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, that's makes you think, doesn't it, Rachel? Makes you think, what are they hiding? What exactly are they hiding? They're hiding the indoctrination. They're hiding the criticism. They're hiding a parent noticing that a teacher is a mental midget. And that might get some complaints. It might. But I don't know. There are definitely solutions. And you gotta acknowledge those solutions and work at it. So with that topic, it'll be pretty heavy. So we do have a palate cleanser topic, guys. The end of the show, we're gonna save for some good news. Good news, everyone. LSD, or at least a derivative of LSD, is potentially a treatment for mental illness. Who'da thunk it, right? Now, early research, and I mean they've talked about psychedelics and stuff like that, and treating depression and anxiety and PTSD and stuff like that. So there is merit to that, and there have been some really interesting research with there's been some interesting research when it comes to like mushrooms and stuff like that, DMT. I'm not talking about going on like one of those spirit journeys necessarily, but in medicinally appropriate doses, you can help the brain kind of rewire a little bit. They're restricted in such a way, though, that medical research with these things is not very easy. So, you know, gotta we need to change the scheduling laws. The schedules have to change. I don't know when they're going to be changing, but machine elves, yes, indeed. LSD is okay. I like shrooms better. Well, I've never tried LSD, and so I can't speak to that. I probably would stay away from it. That's just my gut telling me probably not a good thing to go mess with. But yeah, uh, I've heard that. I have heard that, Lord of the Ree. There's people that do I think it's called microdosing, when they don't like do a lot, like they're not trying to get high, they're just doing a dose. It's like with people people who use medicinal marijuana, they're not trying to get high, they're just taking a medicinal dose so that they get the mild desired effect from it without getting sloppy or getting high. Like you're not looking to party, you're just looking to take your medicine. And for the people that are able to do that and find some relief from it, I don't see any reason why they shouldn't be allowed to. But LSD has rat poison in it. That's why this is a derivative. Not actually LSD. Like we have an article. We do have an article, but I figured that was an interesting little side kind of topic, a fun thing that we could get to after we get into the heavy stuff from the stuff that Angry Cops is going to talk about on the Unsubscribe podcast. Excuse me, goodness gracious. Let me see. I have. But yeah, for one of the things that the oh, you do like 5 grams? I have no idea what that means. Like, how much is that? I don't know. I'm uncultured in this aspect. Lord of the Ree. Um, Never tried anything but Mary Jane. Didn't like it, so never thought I'd like anything else. Hey, you know what? That is fair enough. It's not for everybody, and nobody should feel like they need to try stuff like that. If you're doing just fine without it, you don't need it. Don't mess with it. Didn't like cocaine, I'm sure. You go, the nose goes hard, okay? It's a huge nose. What the fuck do you mean? Why did Ricada have so much cocaine? Have you seen his nose, Lord of the Ree? Have you seen Ricada's nose? Of course he had to have that much. To get that to... I'm disappointed. Lord of the Ree, I am disappointed. A gigantic schnoz. I've heard I would never touch cocaine. I've heard so many stories of people, you know, freaking flaring out with it, or literally I had a case where a guy I graduated with thought he was getting cocaine, and I guess he got fentanyl in there, and his family found him dead in his chair. So I would rather not mess with that. You're still scared your mom will come back and beat you if you try anything. Very solid structure there from Mama, from beyond the grave. Just enough for things to look kind of funny, but you have this warm, relaxing, vibrational high for about 5 hours. Mileage may vary. Well, that's interesting. Okay, it's like taking a really intense weed edible. I wouldn't know anything about that. Um, let's see. Huxley had opinions about LSD. That's right, Entropy Nomad. But yeah, we've got a story about that at the end, and I will probably try to find a Massey Minute clip to get into. We're only an hour into the show, guys. Just an hour. Let's go ahead and dive into our first topic: the blue suit. The blue suit of disrespect from Cheeto Dictator. Guys, I cannot believe it. I cannot believe how disrespectful Trump was by wearing a blue suit. You know, just when you think he's done it all, he goes and just craps all over the Pope's funeral. And let's look. Let's take a look at how blue this suit is. You guys tell me, is it an offense to your eyes how blue this suit is? Look at that. What a disrespectful human being wearing blue instead of black like the Vatican told him to. What's up, Neurodivergent One? Awesome mod in the chat. Don't forget to smash that like button, y'all. Do it justice. Wearing a blue suit, guys. Wearing a blue suit. No, it's not okay. It's not okay, Trump. Look at that, though. What? Wait, he was the only one that wore blue, right? So Trump was the only one that wore blue to the funeral, right? Oh, is Canada lost? What happened to Canada? Did that? Did the lefties, did the Liberal Party win? I forgot all about Canada. Our hat is in trouble perpetually. Did Pierre Poilievre, I guess, lose? Trump made it sound like the other guy was going to be the Mark. What's his name? Um, Mark something. I can't remember his last name. Oh, their election. Yeah. Most of all Trump suits are navy blue. Yes, they are. Most of them. He does have black suits, though. Yes, many were blue. That brings us to the next guy. For those that bitched about a blue suit from Trump, photo taken live, so the proof was shown. Dark blue suit. That's one of the princes, right? Yeah, and guess what? As a Catholic, I don't give a fuck what color suit Trump wore. Oh, shit. Sorry. But no, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a at all. Like, I don't care what color suit he wore. He was there. He was respectful. But yeah, they made this a big deal because they can't help themselves. They have to make everything a big deal when it comes to Trump, and they have to lie about it and act like he was the only one. So there's another one. There's one of the princes had a dark blue suit. He had a black tie though. Okay, he had a black tie. He wasn't as offensive as Trump, guys. Wasn't as offensive. But wait a second. Whoa, 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 whoa. What is this picture here? Here's an uncropped shot, edited just to show Trump in a blue suit. And you guys, there's a blue suit, 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 there's a blue suit. There's like 15 other people with blue suits at this funeral. Like 15 other people with blue suits. So maybe the media, and I'm going to stop saying corporate media, the media in general is just full of fucking shit when it comes to this stuff. Anybody who believes the media at this point, and anybody who defends the media for this shit, I look at you with disdain, and I don't like you anymore. Simple as that. I don't like you. Because you're lying for them, and you're covering their ass lying. There was a White House Correspondents Association dinner where a guy from Axios was saying that they have to acknowledge that they dropped the ball when it came to the cover-up of Biden's mental decline. They didn't see it. They didn't see the mental decline, guys. And I'm just sitting here like, that's almost the right apology. But you saw this shit. You knew that he was fucking decrepit when he was running for president. And to act like you were fooled by the administration covering it up, bull fucking shit you were. Bullshit. Neurodivergent One says they are still counting, but it doesn't look good. Just a matter of time. If the libs get in, win enough to govern alone, or they need a coalition. I I just can't believe that Canadians are still voting this way. They saw what happened with Trudeau for so many years, and then they still like still are you do you have is it a death cult? Like, do you have a death wish? Like, is that what's that's your culture's dead or dying? I don't know. The Saudis just wore their typical thing. Like, look, that's they wore their I guess that's their version of a suit up there. I can't zoom in on it, but I mean that guy's got the red. So like, what is that? You know, like what is that? But no, Trump's the bad. Trump's the bad. We got to talk about Trump because that's what we do. Fucking Christ. We have actually a clip here. Should have shown up like Lloyd Christmas. Yes. Yes, orange. Orange would have been better. Hmm. Signs of a death cult. Yep. What is his last name? Mark something. Mark Carney. Carney. Yeah, it's a circus up there, isn't it? There is a play on words. Have fun with that. Yeah, check it out, guys. thedozerden.locals.com for $5 a month. And to all my monthly subscribers, thank you so freaking much for your continued support. I think we're at 9 or 10 total, including locals and Rumble. So I appreciate the heck out of anybody who chooses to donate on a regular basis to this channel. Sincerely, I do appreciate it. It helps out. You guys don't even know. Helps me focus on making more great content for you individuals. We're up to 4 days a week now. We started out with 2 guys. We've been streaming a little over a year here in the Dozer Den. Started out with 2 streams a week, Monday and Thursday, I believe. Those were the 2, and then I added Tuesday in there, and then I added Saturday. No, wait, no. It was Monday, Thursday, and then Saturday because the Dozer Den DJ hour, and then I added Tuesday in there. And maybe at some point, if things keep going well, maybe I'll do 5 days a week. Who knows? Depends on what you guys want. We'll see. Bet little penis freak wore his costume. He doesn't know what the suit is. He wore something. You're talking about Zelensky, I'm assuming, Rachel Boo, and I know exactly who you're talking about. He didn't wear his typical outfit. Looked like an over coat kind of thing. Maybe he had the sweatshirt on underneath that. I don't know. But yeah, Zelensky is ever disappointing. But yeah. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for popping in and hanging out with us for a little bit. Rest well. Don't forget to smash that like button if you have not done so already. Let's check on that like button. See what you guys have. You had your way with it appropriately. We're up to 21 and 1 thumbs down. Okay. That's all right. I see it. You know, I guess that means we're doing something right if we have a thumbs down, guys. All right, let's we actually have a clip here from Sky News. Well, the first thing they talked about for 3 hours and 3 minutes and 45 seconds was about the plane and chopper crash over the Potomac. Turns out, guys, Rebecca Lobach, real quick before we get into do this little bit here. An example of when a woman should have listened to the fucking man. Maybe the trainer, the co-pilot there, telling you to change course, and air traffic control telling you to change course. Maybe 2 incidences where men were telling this woman to do something different, and she decided to ignore them and do whatever the fuck she wanted. And the only reason I'm acting like that about this is because she did work for the Biden administration for a good while, like 3 years or something like that, like with dignitaries and stuff like that. She would escort them. And we don't know what was in her mind. Maybe she was in a bad place and she wanted to take a bunch of people out. Well, 67 people died. Miss Lobach, Rachel Lobach, I think. You didn't listen to the men who were telling you what to do. This is a situation where the woman should have shut the fuck up and just done what the goddamn man told her to fucking do. That's it. You should have just listened to the guys telling you what to do. They knew better. And maybe 67 people wouldn't be fucking dead. I don't know. We don't know what was going on in her mind. But I have to think maybe she was just severely unpolished after being working with the Biden administration so closely, doing that. I forgot what her title was with the Biden administration, but she did work closely with the Biden administration. So we have a clip here from Sky News talking about the blue suit, though. I didn't really feel like making that a topic because we covered that crash in depth. I still think it could have been intentional, but and especially if she had people telling her not to do it, telling her to change course, and she decided to stay the course, then maybe it was intentional. Maybe it was a suicide. Yeah, horrifying to think about, but quite possible. Let's go ahead and play this clip from Sky News about the blue suit. The lies from the media spread like wildfire.
Lies against Donald Trump are getting ever more absurd. Now they're accusing him of disrespecting the late Pope and the Vatican by wearing a blue suit to Pope Francis's funeral. The fake news here just spread like wildfire. It starts with this headline: the Vatican asked Pope Francis' funeral attendees to wear all black. Trump wore a blue suit. And this is the image they used with that story, a carefully cropped photo, deliberately hiding all the men in blue suits, including Prince William and all sorts of other dignitaries. And as you can see in the wider shots, these publications have gone out of their way to kind of mislead. And we've seen publications from the UK to the US, Josh, spreading this fake news about Trump's blue suit.
I mean, look, I mean, Rita, I watch a.
Oh my goodness, Entropy Nomad coming in with a $2 Rumble rant, turning that chat lime green. Hell yeah, thank you so much for that donation, man. You made me feel happy. Yeah. Very nice. Very, very nice. $2. I have to fly this week. Pray for competent pilots. Pray for awake and not woke ground crews. It's Southwest, so we have the security down with some Gorilla Tape. That's actually Southwest is I think that's the only I think I've only ever flown Southwest. It's usually been pretty good, but it's been about 12 years since I flew. But Entropy Nomad, praying for a safe flight. The statistics are on your side. But you got to factor in too, a lot more people drive than fly planes. So is that statistic kind of, because they said you have like a 1 in 1,000 chance of dying or being in a horrific accident when flying, and you have a 1 in 100 chance or something like that when driving. It's like, well, there's a lot more people that drive than fly. So, I don't know. But yeah, hopefully you have no issues. It's Southwest, so you should be fine. If it was Spirit, I would say, go ahead and make sure your final affairs are in order. Just saying. I've heard bad things about Spirit. Excuse me. $2 though. Thank you so much for the donation, bud.
A lot of Donald Trump coverage over the years. I've seen him give many speeches. I've seen him give many White House, Oval Office interviews. I genuinely, as someone who pays actually fairly close attention to men's sartorial choices when they are in high positions, I actually genuinely struggle to.
Sartorial? Does that mean suit? Outfit choice?
Think of a single instance when Donald Trump is actually wearing a black suit. I'm genuinely just like thinking out loud here with you in real time here. I feel like the guy's always wearing a blue suit. I mean, Trump's go-to look. Anyone who knows anything about Donald Trump's wardrobe, you know that he is known for wearing various shades of blue suits, and typically his go-to choice is a thick, bold, long red tie. That is Donald Trump 101. You want to go get a bobblehead doll in the toy store of Donald Trump, you're going to get a blue suit, red tie. That is the image. That's the magazine cover. That's who he is there.
Yep.
Now, he has a lot of blue suits. Now, he has various shades of blue suits there. There's lighter blue, there's darker blue, there's royal blue, navy blue. But I'm genuinely now thinking here,
50 Shades of Blue. Sometimes you gotta slap that peach with the 50 Shades of Blue.
My mind is racing. I can't think of a single time where he wears like a jet black suit there. That's just not who he is. That's not his style there. And yes, I mean, to your broader point here, this obviously it's beyond silly. It's so trite. It's so done. No one cares for this. Literally no one cares for this. I mean, Fortune magazine there. I mean, how desperate can you get there? I mean, when you're forced to run articles like this, really, when you're actually forced to run ridiculous headlines like this, the only logical conclusion that any consumer of the media can possibly reach is that you are out of luck because you are out of content, because you have nothing better to point to there. So you're forced to cavil about his choice of suit there. It's just so utterly absurd, Reed. But frankly, no one cares about this.
It is absurd, but I tell you,
Well, the thing is, though, there are people who are acting like this is a big deal. There are actual people, actual human beings that are so broken that they think this is a big deal. And I can tell you, most of the Catholics I know don't give a shit.
has an impact, particularly outside.
Most of the Catholics I know didn't really like that last pope. Now, we pray that he finds, found salvation. That's absolutely. But at least he didn't shit his pants. True. That's a pretty low bar, though. Entropy, that's a pretty low bar. I'm just saying.
Outside of the US, because the US, you do have a bit more diversity in the media, not as much as you would like to see, but there is counter narratives that are actually correcting some of this fake news. But in Australia and elsewhere in the world, it's almost all we get is just this relentless negative stuff, whether it's serious issues or trivial, like the colour of his suit at a funeral. Before you go, I want to get your opinion on this remarkable New York Times fluff piece that they've done on a character called Hassan Piker, a character they describe as a progressive mind in a MAGA body, because he works out. Apparently that makes him a MAGA.
Phil Labonte, when he's on Timcast, he calls Hassan a himbo.
Body, but he's as bad as MAGA as I'm blonde. What he is, Josh, is virulently anti-Israel.
Any kind of Zionist tendency should be treated in the same way as being a rabid neo-Nazi.
Oh, yeah, he gets spicy. I don't really want to hear that man talk, though, so fuck him. Bye, Hassan. I don't need to hear you. Yeah, but suit, guys. Apparently it's a big deal. The media thinks it's a big deal. And that's what they cover, though. They cover this stuff, and this isn't even Trump making the news, though, because there were plenty of people wearing blue suits. So them acting like this is a big deal is just silly, honestly. But yeah, Dirk, what's up, Dirk? Good to see you. Yeah, fuck Hassan. He's a twat waffle. Twat waffle. Yes. I actually worked with some deaf folks today. Neither one of them knew sign language. That was interesting. We are doing well. Dirk Gently just found out the father-in-law is okay. Didn't have any serious health issues. Just pulled a muscle in his ribs, so he went to the ER. So we were kind of worried about him, but he's fine. I'm assuming that my stepfather is fine after having part of his nose removed. He had skin cancer. Found this out yesterday after church. Stepdad had freaking skin cancer on his nose, and so they had to cut off the skin cancer. And then he said the way they were going to do the procedure was cut off the cancer and then wait 2 hours and then check again to make sure they got it all. And then they were going to take a skin graft from the back of his neck and then pull it and put it on. I told him, I said, hey, look at it this way. You made it to 83 years old without ever having a nose job. That's a pretty big of an accomplishment there. You made it 83 years without getting a nose job. You held out, and that's impressive. That gave him a good chuckle. He kind of chuckled at that one. But yeah, another way the media is lying here, or just being disgusting, guys. There you go. Another piece here of the media being disgusting that I figured would fit well with them lying about his suit and him being such an issue. They blurred out the illegal aliens. So they have mugshots of criminal aliens on the White House lawn. MSNBC blurred out their fucking photos.
Has put up about 100 posters of what they say are unauthorized immigrants who have been arrested for violent crimes. You can see them there. They put them up on the driveway of the White House. If you look here, that's the West Wing just at the forefront, the executive mansion itself to the left. But what's particularly noteworthy about this location is it is right directly behind the positions where TV correspondents do their hits from the White House lawn. So therefore, no matter what network you're on.
That's epic trolling. I love it. Absolutely love it.
that includes MSNBC, if you're doing a hit from the White
Oh
House
no, you'd have to show mugshots of criminals. Oh God, the horror. The horror. Ugh.
right now, those pictures will be behind you. The White House doing a briefing in about a half hour about what they're doing here. Maria, your response to this image?
So I have to say, one of the biggest challenges that we have with the deportations that we know of so far, for example, with Kilmer Abrego Garcia, we don't know if they've had due process.
They've had all the due process they fucking get. When you're an illegal alien, you need to get the fuck out. Yeah, you can have the figuring out whether or not you're illegal. Once that has been determined, get out.
We don't know if, in fact, these individuals do have a rap sheet. So I would encourage those individuals that have that as a backshot to blur those people out. The job of journalism is to ensure that we are presenting the facts, that we are cross-referencing. We know that PolyFact actually checked the Trump administration because of an earlier picture that they released on Kilmer, recognizing that it was altered, that it was false, that they had placed.
No, they were just fucking telling you that the marijuana was the M, and then they were doing the S, like the MS-13. They had the freaking things on his fingers, the tattoos, and then they had it labeled. Those were labels, you fucking retard. Oh my God. She shouldn't be able to vote.
Gang signs, tattoos on him that weren't real. And so
These people are broken. I got a little loud. I need to chill.
I would really, the press right now, we are absolutely under attack.
Yeah, and you should be in prison for this shit. I'm done acting like this is okay. You should be in prison for lying.
Our job is always to have our true north, to make sure that we're presenting balanced news.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Do y'all think that these people actually believe this, the things that they're saying? I can't.
Making sure that we are not putting folks that are potentially in danger, and having that representation of those pictures in the background. We can't allow that to basically for us to carry the water of potentially innocent people. So I would encourage, I recognize live shots are tough, but I would encourage folks to actually make sure that those shots are blurred to the best of your abilities. We know
well
better.
said. Well said.
Oh,
Again,
we know better. Oh, just we're so much better. We look down our nose at you. I look down my nose at you.
focus here, doing the work, doing it well. As journalists, it's
No.
never been more important.
Wow. Again, they're full of garbage. Absolutely full of garbage. Whew. Goodness gracious, guys. I can't believe this stuff. I can't. I'm still baffled by how much they lie, how willing they are to lie. It's like they lie like they breathe, honestly. But hopefully somebody who isn't lying would be Vladimir Putin. Hopefully Putin is sincere about his want for a ceasefire. Looks like we may be getting a ceasefire, at least for 72 hours, something like that, in May 8th and 8th to the 9th, I believe. Sorry about that, y'all. Oh, wow, that is bright white. I need to turn my brightness down over there. It's lit me up, though, hasn't it? Let me check on my X peeps, by the way. I haven't done that today. My apologies to those who may be watching over there on the X machine. By the way, if you haven't followed me on X at Billdozer74__, check it out. Yep. Viva's not happy about the election. Sorry, Viva. Praying for all the frostbacks. See, we're up to 79 people have said hello over there on the X machine. Oh, show probable spam. Who's spamming? X has been weird recently, y'all. I don't know what's going on, but they are listing people as spam that are actual people. And that's a problem. Honestly, it's a problem. But for the most part, we're doing okay. Hey, we're up to 868 followers now. Who was the new one? Midwest Gunner, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Dozer Den. Hopefully, I earn your viewership. Guys, if you haven't clicked Get Premium, right down there, it's a red button. You can pay $9.99 a month or $99 for the year. And I think you still have the option for a. I think you still have the option. Oh, here we go. For $10 off if you use promo code studio. So why not? Let's go ahead and do an ad read, guys. Never mind. Okay. I was going to, but never mind. I was going to do a Rumble Premium ad read. But you know what? Hey, and you can do 3 a stream now. That's interesting. All right. Well, hey, get Rumble Premium. I'm pretty sure if you use promo code studio, you can get $10 off, or you can pay $9.99 a month. That's what I do right now because I canceled my Mug Club because I thought I was doing a Rumble Premium and Mug Club, and I didn't want to get double dipped. I was incorrect, and so when I got it back, I didn't pay for the year. I paid $9.99 for the month, and I thought I'd be able to adjust it, but I can't figure out how to adjust it to pay for the full year. Maybe I'll figure it out at some point. Man. But yeah, it is with the premium, you get rid of the ads and you get access to every creator on Rumble who makes premium content, which is for every creator in the Rumble creator program, you have to do at least 5 hours of premium content, which I have done the past 2 months. I had 5.2 hours of premium this month, and I really don't feel like doing more than that because I like to have as many people watching as possible. So one of the things that I will start doing, and I haven't done it yet. We did one fishing stream, didn't catch any fish, but we'll be getting some fishing stuff and some outdoor stuff going on too. Guys, you know what? Since we weren't able to do an ad read for Rumble, let's go ahead and do an ad read for one of my favorite products that I actually have. Biltong USA. Put Anton's meat in your mouth. This is the Angus. This bag is almost gone. I've been a little bit slower on it because I've been away from the house a little bit. But if you want a very healthy, protein-packed, oh my goodness, look at those spices. The seasonings on that, it's going to be delicious, guys. This is what beef jerky wishes it could be. Biltong, guys. It's thicker, it's meatier, it's a little bit more moist. That's right. In a good way. You can go to www.biltongusa.com, use promo code DOZER for 10% off of your order of this amazing superfood, some might say. Now, I'm not giving you medical advice here, but if you get this snack, you can avoid eating high-carb junk food and replace it with this delicious meat. I've used it a few times for a meal replacement. Some of the things about this: high in protein, creatine, B vitamins, iron, magnesium, potassium, zinc. What it doesn't have? No gluten, MSG, soy, or added sugar. Guys, this is seriously worth your money. Every dollar that you spend with BiltongUSA.com, you're not gonna regret it. I'm just telling you. The product is delicious. I wouldn't shill it as hard as I do if I didn't believe in it, and I didn't believe in the company itself. Anton and Lady Biltong are lovely individuals, and they work hard. Anton is a South African immigrant who came to this country and decided to share the meat. And it's good stuff, guys. That right there. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, to the people on pill.net, thank you so much for the support. I saw somebody red pilled it a little bit ago. Appreciate you. Oh, do we have a premium read? Ha! For 55 cents. Why not? Screw it. Let's do another one. Guys, get Rumble Premium. The sponsorship, it's from Rumble. And it's one that's incredibly important. I gotta chew this meat. It's one that's incredibly important to the survival of this company. When Rumble first started in 2013, guys, yeah, they've been around for a while. They didn't just pop up with 2019 and all the COVID crap. They've been out there for a minute. They built a platform for the small creator, like moi. They didn't censor or have biases. They were fair and treated all creators equally. No one thought platforms would censor political conversations or censor opinions on COVID, but they did. Facebook admitted they fell to pressure from the Biden and Harris administration. Rumble did not. They held the line. They were attacked daily for giving us a voice to talk to you, the people. They are attacked in corporate media. They are attacked by governments like France and Russia and Brazil. But Brazil, I think, is on the good side of things now. They are attacked from brand advertisers who refuse to work with them. Corporate America, guys, they're fighting to remove speech, and Rumble is fighting to keep it. Rumble won't survive with brand advertisers alone, though. They really don't get much of that, guys. So, watching this show here on Rumble and others is the most that they can ask from you. But if you really believe in this fight, and if you have the means, that is extremely important. Do not put yourself out for something like this. But if you do have a little bit extra per month, go ahead and sign up for Rumble Premium. It's one of the major ways that you can help Rumble survive, guys. Join the community that believes in the First Amendment and believes in our human right to free speech. Rumble is currently offering, that's right, it's still active, $10 off with promo code STUDIO, that's STUDIO, when you purchase an annual subscription. Go to rumble.com/premium and use promo code STUDIO. Like I said, if you have the means and you believe in the cause, now is the time to join Rumble Premium. If you don't have the means, well, you know what? Just happy you're here watching. Appreciate you hanging out here in the Dozer Den on a free speech platform. Oh, yes. Guys, let's go ahead and get into the next story. Putin the peacemaker? Really? Maybe. At least a ceasefire. Let's see if Zelensky will actually adhere to this ceasefire. There will be many celebrations going on in Russia during this time. They're celebrating, I think, Victory Day? Victory over the Nazis. You'd think that would be reason to celebrate, right? Unless, of course, Ukraine's full of Nazis. You know? I'm just saying. Oh, but Zelensky's a Jew. And so is Soros. He literally worked with the Nazis to take away Jews' property, from what I understand. Let's go ahead and get in this article from Reuters, though, y'all. What do we have? From Reuters. Who wrote this? Putin announces May 8th through 10th ceasefire. Ukraine wants truce now. Summary. Russia announces second ceasefire in quick succession. Truce to mark celebrations marking victory over Nazis. Ukraine says ceasefire should be real, not just for the parade. U.S. top diplomat Rubio spoke with Russia's Lavrov. I want to know who wrote this. I like to give the article, the author, a shout out. We'll see it at the bottom, I suppose. Moscow, April 28th, Reuters. Russian President Vladimir Putin on Monday declared a 3-day ceasefire in May in the war with Ukraine to mark the 80th anniversary of the victory of the Soviet Union and its allies in World War II. Putin's move appeared aimed at signaling that Russia is still interested in peace, something that Ukraine and its European allies dispute, as President Donald Trump's administration in Washington grows impatient with stuttering efforts toward peace. The Kremlin says the 72-hour ceasefire would run on May 8th and 9th, when Putin will host international leaders, including Chinese President Xi Jinping, for lavish celebrations to commemorate the victory over Nazi Germany, and May 10th. Kiev questioned why Putin would not agree to its call for an immediate ceasefire lasting at least 30 days to pave the way for diplomacy. Because if they do it for 30 days, they are going to freaking try to bolster their defenses and re-up their ammo so that they can go back harder at Russia. That's why. For some reason, everyone is supposed to wait for May 8th and only then have a ceasefire to ensure calm for Putin during the parade. President Vladimir Zelensky, little twat waffle, said in his nightly video address, We value people's lives and not parades. Bullshit, you do. If you valued people's lives, you would have ended this war whenever you had the chance, like 2 years ago. You wouldn't have bent to the will of the West, because that's what kept this going. What's up, Gene Bond? Deno in the chat, Little Z. Oh, yes. He's one of those Zerzems. Little Z. Prolific piano player. There was some alliteration for you there. That's right, Twat Waffle JJR. That's right. Oh, let me check on BitChute. Well, maybe. Nah, I don't want to pull him up right now. We'll pull it up later. Hey, good to see you too, man. Let's see. So Russia has said it wants a full settlement, not a pause. Putin's announcement came after U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov spoke on Sunday. The White House said Trump wanted a permanent ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine. While President Trump welcomes Vladimir Putin's willingness to pause the conflict, the president has been very clear that he wants a permanent ceasefire to bring this conflict to a peaceful resolution, said National Security Council spokesman Brian Hughes. All military actions are suspended for this period. Russia believes that the Ukrainian side should follow this example, the Kremlin said in a statement on the May 8th through 10th ceasefire. In the event of violations by the Ukrainian side, Russia's armed forces will give an adequate and effective response. It was the second unilateral truce announcement that Putin has made in quick succession following a 30-hour Easter ceasefire that each side accused the other of violating countless times. It came after Trump criticized Putin for a deadly Russian attack on Kiev last week and voiced concern at the weekend that Putin was just tapping me along. Washington has repeatedly threatened to abandon its peace efforts unless there is real progress. Talks without preconditions. Rubio, in a call with Lavrov on Sunday, underscored to his Russian counterpart the next steps in Russia-Ukraine peace talks and the need to end the war now. State Department spokesperson Tammy Bruce said in a statement on Monday without offering more details. Russia's foreign ministry said Lavrov highlighted the importance of reinforcing the emerging conditions necessary to launch negotiations aimed at establishing a reliable framework for long-term sustainable peace. The Kremlin said Moscow wants direct talks with Ukraine without preconditions. Lavrov, in a written interview with Brazil's O Globo newspaper, on Monday, said that as well as ruling out Ukraine's membership of NATO, a settlement should include demilitarizing and denazifying Ukraine. Yeah, that would be kind of good. And international recognition of 4 regions of Ukraine that Russia has partially occupied since 2022 and claimed as its own. I mean, yeah. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters on Monday that the signal for direct talks should come from Ukraine, as it currently had a legal ban on negotiating with Putin. Really? Really? G. Mondano, I've been having problems accessing Rumble shows through my browser. Finally was able to get here through the Rumble app. Well, Gene Bondano, I admire your dedication to making sure to be present here on Rumble, a free speech platform. They have been updating and moving things around, and so there might be some issues technical issues here and there. So appreciate your patience. Oh, we have a little slap at a beach. Hell yeah. That right there, guys. If you subscribe to Bulldozer74, that's what you get. Making sure I'm not missing anything there. If I do miss something in the chat, my apologies. I'm trying to keep an eye on it. Sometimes Rumble doesn't pick up on everything. Let's see. Rumble growing pains. Yep. That's what we'll call it. I know Tether is making huge moves. Absolutely huge moves. And apparently Rumble is like in the top 50 for Bitcoin acquisitions, I think. I pulled it up the other day, so I might not be exactly correct on that. But let's see. Where were we at? He was referring to a 2022 decree in which Zelensky ruled out such negotiations after Russia had claimed 4 Ukrainian regions as its own in an action condemned as illegal by most countries at the United Nations. They got annexed. That's a process. Territorial disputes happen. You can call it illegal all you want, UN. I don't recognize your authority or legitimacy. We shouldn't recognize them. Usually when those blue hats show up, a lot of things tend to increase, like child trafficking, That's a problem. Just saying. Ukraine accuses Russia of playing for time in order to try to seize more of its territory and has urged greater international pressure to get Moscow to stop fighting. Russia accuses Ukraine of being unwilling to make any concessions and of seeking a ceasefire only on its own terms. Yes, that's right. Okay, I can't say that it's not. Trump on Sunday urged Russia to stop its attack in Ukraine and suggested Zelensky was ready to give up Crimea. Which Russia seized from it in 20. This shouldn't even be news, though. This shouldn't be news. Crimea has. There's not even ever been a chance that they would get Crimea back. So why are they acting like this is a positive step? I mean, I guess Zelensky's doing the big ask by saying that they want to try to take Crimea back, but Zelensky said earlier this month that doing so would violate Ukraine's constitution. Kiev has not commented on Trump's comments on Sunday regarding Crimea. And this was reporting by Reuters in Moscow, Yola Disa in Gdansk, Simon Lulz in Washington, and Ron Popesky and Alexander Kosuka. Writing by Mark Trevelyan, editing by Gareth Jones. That's a lot of people on one article. My God. You know what, though? I didn't notice any errors. And I'm usually pretty good at picking out those errors. So, hey, maybe it takes that many people to make a good article anymore. I could do better, damn it. William McLean, Alistair Bell, and Deepa Babington. Editing by 4 people to edit that? That is not that big of a piece. What? How are these people getting paid? Why? Oh my God. You have that many people. Look, we have how many people on this article? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 people listed, credited for this article. That's stunning. But, it was a well-written article. I didn't see any grammatical errors. Didn't notice any syntax errors. It looks like it's a solid piece. Oh well. But yeah, it sounds like there's a ceasefire in the works. We'll see if Ukraine will adhere to it. I kind of doubt they will. Just to be honest, I think that they are. It's a suicide cult at this point, and I hate to say it, but it almost would have been better if Russia would have come in really, really hard and just done what they wanted to do, and then said, "Hey, now what? It is what it is." And I think that probably would have been less deaths if you'd have just ripped the Band-Aid off. But they're trying to. I guess they were figuring that there's more. They want to keep more people alive than Ukraine does, because these areas are ethnically Russian and they want them to not die. Ukraine has been bombing these areas, these ethnically Russian areas, since the Maidan coup of 2014, which was inspired by our CIA. Victoria Nuland is an horrendous individual, absolutely horrendous human being. I guess we could call her human. I would think she might be a lizard. Some of the comments that woman has made, she might actually be a lizard person. Uh-oh. Don't know if you guys heard that thumping, but that was the mini dozer. He likes to kick the sides of the bed when he's frustrated. That's what he does. Guys, if you haven't checked out the Discord link there in the description, check it out. It's worth hanging out. We got some fishing stuff from the events this weekend. I'm looking at it right now. That's a big old fish. I'll bring it up again. If you guys didn't see it, guys, I caught a big one. 6.5 pounder. It's big for this area. It is quite large for this area. Check that out. Look at that big old girl. She's full of eggs. That's what gave her that extra half pound there. 6.5 pounds of glory. Look at the forearm muscles. Flexing. Wasn't trying to flex. It's a big old bass, guys. It's a pretty girl. She's healthy. About to drop some eggs. And we got some crappie. That was a little bro dozer. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. I caught probably 12 bass, few crappie, and then they caught a whole bunch more crappie. But we're just now getting them up to size. There you go. That's right, Dirk. That's right. Thanks, Gene Mondano. That's the biggest bass I've caught in a while. I haven't caught one over 5.5 in probably a couple of years, honestly. Real quick, before we get into the next story, because I think we've pretty much covered the Putin stuff. Before we get into the kind of pretty dark, it's pretty heavy. before we get into that, I posted a video on Rumble, and it's 20 seconds, so we'll call it a short. Before Rumble has shorts, we'll call it a short. That's not what I was looking for. Go back. There we go. Put up a 20-second video. It was the first time shooting my Remington 12 gauge, which I had to sell because I was a little tight for money, and I figured, hey, didn't really need that 12 gauge shotgun. I did also realize that 3 years ago, this was from 2022, I was a decent bit fatter than I am now. I've lost about 30 pounds from where I was probably here. About 20, maybe 20, maybe 30. But this was a Remington 12 gauge pump action. Beautiful weapon, fun weapon to shoot. I enjoyed shooting it. And we found an old Yoo-hoo bottle, one of those really old glass Yoo-hoo bottle. And we set it up on a stump out there at my brother's little spot of land, and got to test it out. It's still got the damn tag on it. That's how brand new this thing was. Man, I do miss that gun. I need to get it back. I need to start signing up for gun raffles with the Knights of Columbus. You caught a few of those growing up in South Florida. But since I moved to Michigan, the biggest one I caught would be around 6. Caught and weighed one last summer at 4. Yeah, the thing is, though, the Florida bass, the southern variety largemouth, that's a different species of largemouth. And they get quite a bit bigger. Their mouths even get bigger. Their heads shaped differently. Their body is different. And their scales are actually smaller. And that the Florida variety or southern variety largemouth is different than the Texas/northern largemouth. And that's what you see up here, usually in Missouri. You see that northern or Texas variety. They don't usually get as big based on the weather conditions, and just I guess depends on the nutrients in the pond too. But yeah, they get a lot bigger down south. So bottled lives matter. No, I shot the shit out of this Yoo-hoo bottle. Let's check it out though. So this was a little bit about 20 pounds fatter dozer here. And the coat doesn't help, but yeah, I'm pretty chunky. Let's look at it. This was about 3 years ago. All right.
Whenever you're ready, sir. There you go.
Yes. What dost thou say to the god of death? Not today. Yep. We were being silly. That was a little bro dozer recording. Shot the hell out of that Yoo-hoo bottle. It was a good time. That's where I usually go to shoot out at my brother's. I need to get out there and practice. I'm not as practiced as I should be with my guns. So I need to get better at keeping on that, to be honest. But we'll get it though. We will. You liked the boom? It's pretty solid. Might start doing more content like that. Might make another channel or something underneath this one that's just gun stuff. Going and shooting around, doing things like that. I don't know. Outdoors and gun, fishing stuff. Redneck channel. Maybe. Oh, man. All right. So with that little brief interlude, let's go ahead and start talking about the next one. Baltimore public schools. It seems like they are covering up some pretty intense abuse. A student was apparently viciously assaulted in a bathroom, and it looks like the Baltimore public school system decided to keep the investigation in-house. And public schools do this, and it's disgusting. And I wish it didn't happen. I wish that, the media was as concerned about this as everybody else is. And their hesitancy to actually let's go ahead and let's play a little clip from, I think it's Good Morning America, maybe. I think it was Good Morning America. They didn't like how the Unsubscribed podcast portrays themselves. And they're guys doing guy stuff. You got people like Donut Operator, Brandon Herrera, Angry Cops. I don't know the other guy. But they're on here and they have a pretty successful channel. I think it's like 660 something thousand subscribers on YouTube. Kudos to them. Hell yeah. Great job, guys. They decided to get heavy and talk about this stuff, and the media's response, it's Good Morning Buffalo, not Good Morning America, Good Morning Buffalo. Let's check out their response, and then we'll go ahead and play the actual video. By the way, the link to that video from the Unsubscribed podcast is in the description. So if you want to check that out, give them a follow, give them a link, a click, a like, do all the things to show them some support, especially for covering a very important topic like this. But let's see what the media has to say about them actually talking about this issue. And this elitist mentality is part of the problem.
So I'll be honest with you. I started watching this podcast, and my first thought was, "This is ridiculous.
What is this?
This is crazy." I'm listening to all these guys burp and just be absolutely foul.
You're looking at like the White Claws on
Yeah.
the table.
Oh, they burped. You never burped before, asshole? There. Fuck you. Elitist prick.
So
alcohol involved here.
my
Where
first
are they?
thought is, okay, this can't actually be real. But then when you actually listen to the allegations, you unpack what he's saying and understand that this guy is, to an extent, a public figure in
Right.
that A, he's paid for with taxpayer dollars, and B, he's
He's a detective investigating kids who are hurt or people who are hurt. SVU stuff. And the way you're talking about him, very bad.
also put out there on his social media pages, his personality, and for all to see and support, you understand that, okay, maybe he has a little bit of credence here, but it's a lot of credence. So I'll be honest with you, I started.
What a jerk. What an absolute jerk. That's their response. Here's so it's Detective Richard High. That's Angry Cops' real name. Let me start sharing again real quick, and then we'll get into the episode where they talk about it. So from the Unsubscribed podcast, at UnsubscribeCast on X, follow them. Worth following for sure. Buffalo parent on accusations against Buffalo. Did I say Baltimore? Fuck. I need to change my bad, guys. I had a mess up. I will change that in post. What's up, Kogo to Minky? Good to see you. You open the show and get a burp in your ear. Interesting. Yes, it was because they were acting like this guy wasn't credible, because on this podcast they hang out. They're bros. They burp. They have White Claws. They're talking about heavy shit. So I was burping in defiance. You're welcome, Kogo to Minky. Nice burp. Oh man, it's very true. That's right. I've heard that beans are the magical fruit, and the more you eat, the more you toot. And the more you toot, the better you feel. So eat those beans with every meal. Just saying. I've heard that once or twice. Buffalo, not Baltimore. God, what was I thinking? We'll fix it though. Baltimore, shit. I am going to fix that now because I feel like crap about that. So I'm going to fix that. Buffalo Public School, not Baltimore. Damn it. That was an error on my part. Shit. Let me fix that real quick. I don't know what I was thinking. But we see it, we fix it. That's what we do. I am not perfect. And I do apologize for misreporting. Baltimore. Why did I think it was Baltimore? Well, I said it. Buffalo. Oop. Just a second here, y'all. And all right, that'll be enough. think I got it fixed. Good deal. Well, thank you, Gene Mondano. I appreciate you. Man, that frustrates me, though. I hate that. But let's go ahead and check this. What did I have here? So, Buffalo parent on accusations against Buffalo Public Schools. If you speak out, you're done. I'm thankful that Detective Richard High, Angry Cops, came forward. The district has a history of covering up. This doesn't surprise me one bit. From law enforcement today, Buffalo SVU detective whistleblower. Schools are refusing to report sexual assaults, child abuse, and attempted kidnapping. That's a lot. I don't know why I didn't like that. Possibly the most important story I've ever written to date. There is actually an article there that we might check out, but I think it's better to kind of just let Angry Cops do his thing. Apparently, 2 years ago, a BPS student, Buffalo public school student, was raped in a school by a pool, and the principal did her own investigation and closed the case. Never reported it. A year later, the child reported it to police, but there was no video available because you never reported it. And this is why, one of the reasons, I'm not saying that this is one of the reasons that I don't trust the public school system. They will cover their asses when they can. They will try to keep things in-house instead of actually reporting the incident and having somebody, a third party, come in and actually do the investigation. They'll try to handle it in-house. They'll try to start doing their own investigations and talking to students and doing interviews with students when they shouldn't fucking do that. Actually go through the proper procedures. Garbage. Absolute fucking garbage. But no, we should see them as heroes. No. Not when they do stuff like this. There are some fantastic teachers. I had a couple throughout my school time. And the vast majority are less than adequate, we'll say. But let's go ahead and get into the story here. We're going to go ahead and watch this episode from the Unsubscribed podcast. Again, link is in the description. Go ahead and click that link. Give them a like. Give them a follow. They need all the eyes they can get on this. And let's get into it. It's going to be heavy. We have a palate cleanser at the end tonight, though, guys. We do have a palate cleanser. So, let's check it out. This episode of the Unsubscribed podcast. Your kids are in danger. SVU detective exposes Buffalo school system. Let's get into it. And I will be stopping and talking throughout it to give my analysis and give my commentary on the information. So,
this episode, it's not even an episode. It is something Rich.
What the fuck?
You know him as Angry Cops, brought to light. And it is something that even now I'm at a loss of words to how to even explain it. I will say viewer discretion is advised, and it does have to deal with kids. I truly believe everyone should see this message. And I know this community. We know this community, and we know you guys will help make this right and make a difference. And really quick, so much love for Rich and what he is doing and the purpose of this. All the AdSense and money that this video generates is going to be donated to the Buffalo, New York Family Justice Center. And the other reason it is running is because in order to reach as many people as possible.
It's one of my favorite Monster Ultra energy drinks, by the way. I don't drink many of them, just when I need it. But yeah.
This is how you have to do it. Otherwise, it gets restricted. And we didn't want that for this message. Angry Cops, Rich, we will support you till the end of times with this. And I know all of you will do the same. We here, you all, we defend those who might need a little help or who don't have a voice. So again, viewer discretion is advised.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unsubscribed podcast. Rich has something important to say, and we would like for you all to hear it.
You ready to get sued? Yeah.
No.
Let's go.
All right. So this is
That's Sean, right? No.
This is real, and this can affect my life, but it's at the moment where it's one of those things where you got to do the right thing or not. And I didn't want to ruin the actual podcast with it. I wanted to wait till later on just in case. So here's the deal.
That cup, though.
I've been in SVU in the Buffalo Police Department for 2 years, and there was a space in between it where I left SVU, the Special Victims Unit, and I went to 2 other. I got promoted to lieutenant, and then went to the FBI and assisted with that, and I'm back in SVU. But during those 2 years, even before then, there has been an issue where the Buffalo school system, specifically their legal representatives in the city, like the city attorneys that specifically work for Buffalo Public Schools, right? So I'm not sure if that's the city of Buffalo buying these attorneys and having them protect them, or if it's like the schools, like lawyers for the schools as their own thing. But either way, long story short, the Buffalo school system has been intentionally not reporting the assaults of student between student, and then has also used the Buffalo Police Department's school resource officers to write reports and then had their influence over those officers to then close the reports. And that's a story I'll get into.
Right. So soft pitch, why are they doing that?
I don't know. My best estimate is that they're afraid or don't want the numbers to show that there are these police investigations occurring at their schools or assaults occurring at their schools because it could affect funding or something somehow, which, by the way, is fucking stupid. If a crime happens at a school, it doesn't mean that funding is then stopped or prevented from going to that school. Oftentimes, if there's a problem, people will pour money into that problem to fix it. And I'm going to give you an example. This is a real example. There's a school that's attached to the Buffalo Science Museum. That school that's attached to the Buffalo Science Museum has doors that can go from the Science Museum into the school. Those doors are not locked. Individuals can get into them, right? Stranger danger, right? And that happened. So a stranger went into the school. It's a grade school. It's a very low school. And this person grabbed a male and a female child.
It's a very low school.
Low grade school.
So like 1st through 5th.
Yeah. So kids under the age of 10.
Oh, fuck.
So it goes into the school and grabs a young female child and a male child and tries to leave. And I'm gonna parcel this story up in kind of the way that the information came in. At first, the information that came in was that there was one female child that was an attempted abduction. There was no report about the second child. Kind of a big deal. The second child, the boy, had pissed himself. And when his parents came, sorry, I'm getting fucked up. When his parents came to pick him up.
Take your time, brother.
Yeah, sorry. Give me a second.
You're all right, man.
When his parents came to pick him up, the school did not disclose to the parent.
Something to remember, guys, if you've never worked in situations like this, if you've never worked with kids that have been hurt, if you've never worked with people that have been hurt, it's called secondary trauma, and it's very freaking real. And Rich, angry cops, obviously has some of this going on. So I think I've heard he gets a little emotional, and I completely understand that because I've been there. And I know how hard it is when you have a protector mentality. Whenever everything that you're trying to do to help protect seems to either not work or people are fighting against that. And that is soul crushing at times. So Donut Mimey says they're worried about getting sued, so they want to cover it up. Yes. Yeah, Donut Mimey, you're absolutely correct. That's how this works. It's absolutely how this works.
That the kid was a part of an attempted abduction. So when parents asked him, why did my kid piss his pants at school?
Yeah.
The teachers and the people in charge did not tell them that there was an attempted abduction. The school then deleted the video of the attempted abduction.
The fuck?
And the district attorney's office, excuse me. And the district attorney's office only got it because somebody within the school had the wherewithal to record it and then give it to them. The district attorney's office has sent subpoenas, so like court order documents from judges that are signed, to the school's legal representatives. And those representatives have intentionally not responded to them. Now, here's the weird thing, which is like this is the biggest issue right here. Is that specific one is the one that sent me over the edge. Obviously, I'm emotional from it. So, the biggest issue with this entire story,
Yes.
well, one of the issues with this entire story is that
that's the thing, though. It seems like these people are allowed to facilitate kids being hurt, and they don't seem to face consequences a lot of the time. And I don't know if the court system is sympathetic to those that would be predatory towards children, but that's kind of what it seems like. It really is. I don't know. Hopefully, if they don't get their come up in this life, hopefully it happens in the next. And am I wishing hell upon these people? Yeah, I am. And I know you're not supposed to do that as a Christian, but I absolutely hope that these people rot in hell. I hope they burn and suffer for eternity for hurting kids and helping to facilitate the hurt to children. I hope they burn in hell when they die. I know it's not. It is what it is. That's how I feel. So.
When subpoenaed, these legal representatives for the Buffalo School Department are ignoring the subpoenas and not just not responding to them, but being obstructionists and actually giving information to school administrators and school personnel to not talk to the police or assist the police in any way. In fact, to obstruct us, like intentionally. Do not do these things. Here's how you prevent the police from doing their job. So, and here's where like this crux is coming in, why it's kind of a whistleblower thing is there are people that are trying to get this information from the schools, and the main obstructionist are these lawyers who, once again, I said, are ignoring subpoenas and court orders.
Yep.
And the only way that you can overcome that is if somebody from the court system, judge, attorney general's office in New York State, the attorney general of the United States, comes down and says, why are you not responding to these court orders? You're ordered to respond to them and you're not. And in this specific case, like destruction of evidence, which is huge. And then not telling one of the kid's parents.
No, if somebody comes forward, you said somebody had the wherewithal to record the surveillance video or whatever it was.
Yeah.
If somebody comes forward with that, that's still usable as evidence.
So they have to person that's a weird thing about New York State. And I'm not a lawyer, and my knowledge is limited in that. But from my understanding, you need to have somebody confirm the authenticity of the recording. So let's say that it's a CCTV of like a corner store. The manager or a worker would have to show up to court and say, that is the video that from my store. When it comes from, and I don't know if this is how it was done, but let's say like a cell phone recorded the CCTV footage, and then they were like, hey, they deleted the real CCTV footage and then gave it to the assistant district attorney. You would need somebody to authenticate that, which would, and this is where the legal process is weird to me. I'm not sure if that means that the individual that sent the CCTV recording from their phone would have to state, I'm so and so. I recorded that with my phone. I was in the office of such and such school, and this is recording of our CCTV footage, or if that means that any representative from the school can say, no, what that person recorded is our CCTV footage.
Gotcha. So whoever recorded versus anyone can say yes and verify that.
So I'm not sure. Like that's something for like the lawyers to do. I'm not sure how that process goes, but
yeah, school district did that,
dude. I'm telling you, it's a lot of the schools. When I say that's the worst example that I have, which is obviously a horrible example, I can't tell you the amount of shit that I have to go through in order to go to a school, talk to a principal and say, what did the kid tell you? And they'll go, I can't talk to you. I've got to talk to my lawyers. They're like, it's in your job to protect the kids. I can't tell you how many. I'll tell you another one. I had a girl that was, man, I'll get fucked up.
That's fucking wild. Like, especially if your own kiddo and then you don't even know, they come home, they're scared, they're confused, they have no idea what just happened, and then no one's telling them.
If you were the loyalty to the money above the kids.
Yep.
Yeah, that's.
I think it's a mix of fear. I think it's the fear of there's a lot of shit there. I don't think it's like dirty money. I think it's a fear of losing your job. It's a fear of the people that are above you that are going to come back and get you. I think it's the fear of stepping out of line and then getting, reprimanded.
Bystander.
But like one of the cases that I had is a girl went to she got beat by her dad, who's a blood. He's a piece of shit. She got beat by her dad, and she went to a school counselor and said, my dad beats me. And the school counselor didn't report it. School counselor's like notes were like, this kid's a liar. She lies a lot about like how cool she was at another school.
Wow.
And you're like, oh, that's normal kid lying shit. What do I give a about that?
Yeah.
So she didn't report it. And then the next incident happened where this girl had a video recording of, I forget if it was either her dad post beating her or if it was during the beating or if it was of her injuries. I think it was of her dad punching her. And she walks into the counselor's office while she's with another girl, plays the video, and the woman's like, is that you? And she's like, yeah, that's me. And then the girl walks out of the office. And then later on in the day, the counselor goes up to her and is like, hey, listen, what's going on with that video? Like, is that you? Like, what's going on? She's like, yeah, that's me. My dad beats me all the time. And then the kid walked away. Not reported. Not reported to CPS, not reported to the police. The third time is when my case comes in. The kid comes into school beaten and bruised and swollen. And then they remove the kid from the parent's custody, right? And then that's when I get the investigation of child abuse.
But it took 3 fucking times to
It took 3 times. The first time, it's easy. Hey, CPS, this girl says that she got beat. I don't really know what's going on. Here you go. And then CPS begins an investigation. And then the law enforcement referral from CPS comes to me. And then if CPS brings her in, does an interview, and it's valid, I go talk to dad and arrest him. Yeah. That didn't happen the first time. The second time, there's video fucking proof that she's got a video on her phone and shows you. And then you do nothing. And
nope.
and
yeah, excusable.
And so like that, those are the two. That's one that I'm directly involved in. That's one that I happen to know about that I'm not investigating. And I can tell you that myself and the people in my unit are concerned, but we've made complaints, and people in my chain of command above me have made complaints, and we've had to go back to be like, let's look at this address of the school. What's that?
What's the outcome you want on this? Like what I don't.
I want the one school counselor that I investigated arrested for failing to report.
Yep.
You're not a school counselor if you don't know how to tell people that a child's being abused. She needs to be arrested or at least charged. You want to put her on probation, fucking fine. But something needs to happen. And I'm not saying it needs to happen as like there's no legal system. I'm saying that there has to be a repercussion. So then people who see if you don't report because you didn't report, that there's repercussions.
So like the people aren't reporting because they're worried the system will fuck them. But if you don't report, the system will fuck you too. So like you need to do your job.
It's like this dual concern, right? You don't have to talk to the police. Like everybody has their own individual rights for self-preservation, you know, your Fourth Amendment rights. You don't have to, Miranda rights. You don't have to talk to me. But it's different when you're a mandated reporter. And it's different when parents aren't being told why their kid. If you've got a kid, you've got a kid. You don't have a kid yet. Not you either. If you picked up your fucking toddler from school and they pissed themselves and they're crying, and you're like, oh my God, what's Jimmy? What's going on with you? The first thing you do is go up to the teacher and be like, hey, what happened? And you would expect a real answer. Somebody tried to steal Jimmy. What you wouldn't expect.
What happens is with something like that happens, or when your kid might have been assaulted or something like that, the teacher will look really scared and they'll look around and then they won't say anything and they'll avoid you and they won't talk to you because they know that that's going to probably get them in trouble with the law. That could contribute to a possible lawsuit if a family in fact had the resources to be able to fucking sue the public school system, like should be able to happen. But a lot of families don't have those fucking resources and can't actually hold these schools accountable for doing some bullshit like that. And the thing is, when they look cagey, like little fucking animals caught, like a fucking raccoon caught with its hand in something and not able to get their fucking hand out because they grasped a hold of it, they've grasped a hold of the lie, right? They've grasped a hold of the bullshit, and they're just panicked, like, oh, I can't talk to you, I can't say anything, because they know in their fucking hearts that they're fucking wrong. It's disgusting what happens in public schools. Absolutely disgusting. And the mentality of covering for others or covering for the school system, no, that's not the right approach. The right approach is hold your own system to higher standards. That's what the approach is supposed to be, not loyalty to the school or to your fellow teachers. If they're doing the wrong things, you hold them to account. That is how you build trust with the community and build trust with parents. But when you cover, that's when you lose it. And you don't deserve the trust of the people. And you do deserve the disdain at that point. Ah, crap. Am I going to have to refresh? Do a little bit of refresh. Yep, we're going to have to refresh to be able to share again. Be back in a blink. All right, we're back. At least we should be. Let me check. I'd morally not be able to keep a secret like that. Seriously, how do people sleep at night? Maybe that's why a lot of teachers drink, because they're hiding shit that they shouldn't be. Maybe. I can't say for sure, guys. I can't get in these people's minds. I just know how I would respond to it and how I have responded to it in the past. And I did everything that I could on my end to try to make things right. That's all I could do. Until eventually I had to step away from it and do something different. But, yep, we're back. Good deal. Back from outer space.
Is for that school to delete video footage. What you wouldn't expect is for that school to be like, oh, I'm not sure. Something happened. You'll have to talk to an administrator about it. I'm not sure. About it's people that are afraid of doing the right thing. Like these school teachers and principals are afraid to do the right thing. And like I said, we can guess why. I've got my own hypothesis. This is why. But either way, they're failing to do the right thing for one reason or another. And some of them are bad. And I'll give you another example. This case might have been a fluke. It could have been like, kids experimenting and then one of them got scared. It could have been absolutely nothing. It still could be absolutely nothing. I've left 6 messages on a principal's voicemail saying, hey, I just need you to talk.
Mr. Miyagi moment. Almost, guy.
Talk to me. I need the phone numbers of the parents.
The
I only have the phone numbers of the kids. I don't want to call the kids. Please give me the phone numbers of the parents, of the adults of these kids, of the police report that you called 911 for to have police already show up. I just don't have the phone numbers for the parents, and I can't get a return phone call. How many times do I got to call a school principal to be like, hey, there's a potential sexual assault. I just need to talk to the parents. And I can't get a return phone call?
It's fucking wild.
And
Holy fuck, Gene Mondano. So a kid threatened to bring a gun to school and shoot your little brother. It's 15 years younger than you. Think you made a school principal piss her pants. She told me to consider the other young man's feelings and home life. I said, suspend him for a week. Make that kid think about it. This other kid made a legit threat to come to school and shoot your little brother. That's not a suspend. That's go to fucking juvenile. That is go to, you're going to be in a group home for a few months for that shit. There are people that I've seen in juvenile treatment programs for a year for making a list. There needs to be more than that. She said, I will be the one to make the final decision. No, the fuck you won't. That is, you should have got the authorities involved at that point. That absolutely is a reportable offense. That is, and I'm not disparaging you at all, Gene Mondana, with this. I've had my run-ins with the school system and did not know what I was supposed to do either. And it fucking sucks. But I did know enough to put them in their place when needed. Yeah.
And for some reason, they're protected. And my opinion from all of this and everything else is that it is the legal representatives of the Buffalo City schools that are advising, educating, scaring, whatever you want to say it is, to these administrators, teachers, counselors. Don't talk to police. Don't make a police report. Have the police report, instead of say sexual assault, make it information only.
Good.
Well, you want to bury a sexual assault with a kid? Have a fucking cop show up and then have them write down everybody's name and say information only, and then don't forward it to special victims unit.
Yeah.
5 kids, 7 kids are by one other kid in the school, right? They're 14, he's 16. It doesn't fucking matter if it's not a crime or if it was consensual. If somebody says I was and I felt bad about it, it's my job to investigate it.
Yeah.
Why are you stopping that? And so, I was going to do it on the main podcast. If you want to throw it at the end, that's cool. But I might be asking for financial assistance after this goes live, but I'm okay with it.
Love that cut, by the way.
You're doing the right thing.
It's fucking me up. It's fucking me up. I can't deal with it no more.
You know, something that I've learned from our little podcast is ever since we've opened it up to like first responders, I've read a lot of those stories in there. And first responders deal like PTSD. I think it's like
he's about to talk about secondary trauma. If he doesn't, he might not know the words for it, but he's about to talk about secondary trauma. Happened 20 years ago in Southeast Michigan. Your bro was 7. Damn. Whew. Well, I'm glad nothing happened from it.
the active duty military, when you go to war, it's like it's highs and lows. Like you just get a shit show or nothing. Like it's all over the place. But first responders, it's just a constant thing. And like you being in the smack dab middle of both, bro, I don't know how you do it. Like people in general, like cops in general who deal with like sex crimes or child sex crimes, I couldn't do it. I'd be going to prison.
Because it's the idea.
Unofficial Joe Raid from Good Logic. Well, thank you, Sangland86. Appreciate you coming over here. Don't forget to smash that like button. We're talking about heavy stuff right now. We will have a palate cleanser after this, though, so it's on the way, y'all. You remember Angry Cop reporting live from January 6th on the Donut News Network about the mountains of cocaine underneath the Capitol. There you go. I don't remember that. Solid. God, these school systems have to be held to account.
Idea of like the, at least when you're talking about military trauma, it's like that's over there.
You're in war. Well, that's the thing. You're in war. You are fighting the enemy. You're like, chances are innocent aren't. You're not taking the life of an innocent. It's very rare. You're fighting enemy combatants. You're shooting blah blah blah, and then you come back and you're like, oh, and it's a separation versus here. And it's not the innocent you're seeing and then interacting with or pulling up to a crime scene, as you said. It's like, hey, there was a fucking drunk driver and a baby got smeared across the road. And then you have to go home immediately
and know that's going on around you all the time.
Yeah,
it's like
different world.
It's like an acute injury versus just like sustained overuse injury, almost.
Yeah.
Like I would join the military and go to war over being a police officer. I am so sorry.
Party foul.
Day.
Paper towels.
Paper towels. I got them right here. Boom. Because of that exact.
That was
You're gonna get pink lip.
Get the smelling salts.
Are you available later? I just
What's up, Red
Did
Delta?
you just do a line of energy drink?
Good to see you.
Yeah. Ooh, I feel better after getting all that off my fucking chest.
Well, thank you for.
We fucking needed to get it out there, and hopefully this damn school, hopefully a spotlight's gonna get shined on this fucking school. They had a response too. They said something about untruths. They said untruths. Okay.
Dude, brother,
Bro,
thank
you
you.
have a-
Thank you
Dude,
for sharing.
I'm honestly like I'm for real. Like I'm fucking. I feel like there is going to be. I am going to have some sort of repercussions because I'm trying to do the right thing.
We got your
Like
back.
I feel.
And you shouldn't have to feel like that. You shouldn't have to feel like there are going to be repercussions for doing the right thing. Oh, hey, cool, Neurodivergent One. Appreciate you, bud. Thanks for sharing out the show. If you are new to the Dozer Den, welcome to the Dozer Den. Follow the channel. Let's get to 1,000, guys. We're getting closer. We're at 868. My goodness. Creeping up on it. It'll happen at some point. Thanks for watching this episode. We are talking about some heavy stuff here. Well, we're listening to it, and I'm adding my commentary throughout because I've seen some... in previous lines of work, I've absolutely seen some stuff. And they were talking about first responders, and they were talking about the way that Rich Angry Cops was talking about it. When you see that shit as a human being, you're going to have it's called secondary trauma. When you're dealing with people who have been offended on, or people that have been hurt, especially kids, therapists deal with this sometimes, cops deal with this, first responders deal with this, people working with, kids in residential settings that are listening to horror stories on the daily. You got to put up your walls, and there are ways to do that. You go robot. That's what I call it. I call it going robot. It's where you are hearing this dark shit, and you put up that professional wall so that you can be business and you can handle it and you can talk with them through an objective but empathetic approach. But you're human, and you are going to take some of that with you, and you got to find ways to deal with that. Some people drink a lot. Some people, go and work out really hard afterwards. Sometimes you just got to find what's going to work for you, and hopefully you can help make things better in whatever way you're able to. But sometimes you're not, and it sounds like that's what Angry Cop Rich was running into. Those walls that the system puts in place to prevent people from doing the right thing. And it really, really is disheartening when your feeling is, and Rich just said it, he feels like he's going to get in trouble for this, for trying to do the right thing. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't. Entropy, you fucker. Some people beat their spouse. Yeah, transference. That's what that's called. It's called transference. Oh my goodness gracious. Red Delta, have I followed you? You got a channel? You make content? Yeah, I got you followed. Ooh, you got meat. Heck yeah. I'm gonna check your content out. That's 5 months ago, man. Get some more meat. Do some cooking. Get after it. All right, let's get back to the episode here where they're talking about all this heavy stuff. We do have a story about LSD being used in mental health treatment, guys. After this, that's the palate cleanser. If you didn't know, I stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Central. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, news heavy. We do 3 to 4 news topics and have a bit of a palate cleanser at the end. Saturday, the Dozer Den DJ Hour. That's the main focus. I take your music video requests. We talk about one topic at least, though, and chit chat, and maybe watch some funny things. It's a decompressed stream. This one, not so much. But I try to provide this information, this content in a hopefully entertaining and informative way. Infotainment. That's the name of the game. Sup, Cyrene Pickle? You came for the slap at a peach. That right there, guys, when you subscribe to Bulldozer74, you get access to a plethora of wonderful emotes, and your name gets lit up in the most beautiful shade of MAGA red. It's all the Rumble Rash. Light up the chat red. You can gift out subs, by the way. Something you can do here in the Dozer Den. Oh, Saturday, I will be on with Lindy Rig, by the way. I will be on with Lindy Rig on Saturday at 7 o'clock, I believe. I need to message him and figure out exactly what we're doing. And then we are going to be, we will still have, God, words. We will still be doing the Dozer Den DJ Hour stream after that. So he graciously offered to start his stream a little bit early so that we can hang out a little bit longer than an hour or so. So looking forward to that. And I will be sharing the links out whenever that's going on. So glad to be getting on somebody else's show as well. Maybe one day I'll be able to get on Good Logic's show. He never messaged me back. But he's a busy man. He's got Timcast and all other places that he's got to be. And like trial streams. God. I might shoot him another message just to be like, hey, what's up?
Feel like people,
you have so many people that will have your back on that.
Dude, we will show our ass to make that happen.
I did that already.
On a different issue, yeah, you did.
What's up, Bramley on?
Do
guys
cops
don't forget
have
to
whistleblower
smash
protection?
that
I know
like
military does. Like, honest question.
Well, I mean, there's a whistleblower protection for everybody. So yeah, and like if there's like a legal thing where they're going to come after me, I bet you there is going to be a legal thing where they come after me, and I don't know how I'm going to be protected or what that's going to be.
It's worked out for you so far.
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't know what I don't know what's going to be so far, but
if you're just hopping on, we are covering watching and listening to Rich Angry Cops give his tell his story about what he's experienced with the Buffalo public school system and their hesitancy to actually handle the kids being hurt, and to the obstruction that he meets as a special victims unit detective, destroying evidence, not telling a parent whenever a kid almost got abducted. Kids coming home pissed his pants. Why'd they piss his pants? Oh, we don't know. Well, it's because he almost got abducted. And, it was pretty emotional for him as he was going through this. So, Raz Joe with a gay rackets video on Cool Frog's show. Oh, no. Joe was speechless. Nice. I didn't get to watch that, but that was actually going on whenever I was streaming on Saturday.
The things that I just said, right, and because I'm concerned about them, it's well, you said the one case is mine, and that's how I know about it. But like, these are concerns from higher ranking people in the Buffalo Police Department. These are concerns from patrol people in the Buffalo Police Department. These are concerns from the district attorney's office. Like the district attorney's office is like, Rich, like, I know what you're dealing with. This is fucked up. I've got this. I've got that. This is going on.
Yep.
That's how I know that. Like the lawyers from. Or that's the information that I'm getting that back up that thinking that the lawyers that represent the schools are not just not responding but also obstructionists.
Who's HLC? Evidently HLC can't grow facial hair. I know we got Angry Cops, we got Brandon Herrera, we got Donut. I don't know the guy off to the right, and I thought that might have been Demolition Ranch guy, but I don't think it is. Is that HLC?
Which is what the. Like, and if I can be frank, I think everybody in the world is going to be like, so let me get this right. You're a lawyer, and instead of assisting the police department in protecting kids because you represent the schools, instead of assisting them, you're going to intentionally obstruct them. You're going to not respond to subpoenas. Yep. You're going to not respond to court orders. You're going to think that you're so high above the law and you've got no repercussions have happened to them because like you need somebody above a judge. Like, what's the judge going to do? Hey, give this to me. Yeah, I haven't given you anything and I'm not going to give you anything. And nothing happens. Like, where the fuck else do you go?
Where's the
The
accountability?
commissioner of police can't do shit about that. Maybe we can make an arrest here or there, but then we need the assistant district attorneys and the district attorney of Erie County to have her back and do that. And if there's assistant district attorneys that are like, dude, these lawyers aren't even responding to us. Like, we don't know what, we got to get somebody higher above our DA to do something or the DA to do something. I don't know, like, who can do something. And it's gotten so bad in the schools that Like, this is my
habitual line crosser.
Like, I don't know. I just gotta like talking to a shrink and fucking and this.
I just hate how bad it's gotten to the fact
Thanks,
where
Red Delta.
you believe that the unsubscribed podcast is the best outlet because Jesus Christ,
bro.
I mean, on the plus side,
I can guarantee this will light a fuck that school
on the
system.
plus side.
It's already got almost 1 million views. I guess like 880,000 views on the YouTubes. So
part two, because it's like, because you know we know you, we love you, we're here for you. Like we're
I know
ride
that
or
you
die.
guys will do your best to protect me, but at the same time, like if these people are like, hey, because I know what's going to happen, right? I'm not an idiot. I've been around the legal system long enough, and I know how if you shake the right tree, something's going to happen. Like I know what's going to happen is they're going to say that whatever I said, they're going to pick it apart. They're going to go through all my videos. They're going to go through this right now, what I'm saying, and they're going to go, you violated this, and this of your department's policy and procedure.
Get that.
And they're going to go, and you violated this, and this of whatever procedure.
By the way, the hair is getting shaved off, guys. If you didn't know, Cheddar Steve donated $250 for me to shave my head. And so Thursday, Lady Dozer is going to be helping me cut my hair, and we're going to donate it, and then she's going to shave my head for me on stream. That's what we're going to be doing Thursday night. Can't do it before then because I have a rock concert to go to, and I've got to headbang or do a mohawk. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do yet for the rock concert, but the hair is going to be gone though. $250. I should have said 300. Should have. Yeah. But $250, that's my biggest stream money-wise I've ever had. Very small on the views though. That's kind of weird. But yeah. Great support on Saturday for sure.
And you should be fired. You need to be removed. You're suspended. And here you go. And so what's going to happen is a guy, myself, if I can toot my own horn, who's a hard worker, who's been crushing his cases, who my lieutenant and my chief of detectives can vouch is like an asset in whatever unit I go to, especially under the investigative unit of being, special victims or others. Like
a good ass cop.
Yeah.
Like a good ass police officer.
So I know that I just know the squeeze is going to happen to where
double wide mohawk.
There's going to be, I feel like there's going to be negative repercussions on my career, and they're going to come after me for it because just that. If nobody else has done this yet, why?
Wait, I guarantee we could pull way more money than their attorneys do. I guarantee we can pull way.
Do we know who the attorneys are?
I don't know the names of the attorneys. But I can say that they are the attorneys that represent the Buffalo school system, and that they are attorneys that have been receiving subpoenas, and that those attorneys that have been receiving the subpoenas have not been responding to them.
I'm pretty comfortable dying on the hill of protecting kids.
Which is like totally morally, I'm 100% in the right. Morally, like, fuck off. I know what I'm doing, but that doesn't mean there's not going to be negative repercussions. And like, that's one of those weird things where like, I love being a cop. I'm not going to stop being a cop. I could have this career, but I love being a cop. But I'm worried that my thing is I think they're going to suspend me for an investigation. They're going to take a good detective that does the right things off the fucking streets for an indefinite period of time. What my biggest fear is, I don't think I'll lose my job for it. Even
I think he's doing more good by doing it this way and getting the spotlight shown on the rot in the system than if he would have just kept eating it. I think he's doing the right thing. I didn't have anything this big, but I've had incidents and I've run into stuff in the past where I had to step away because I did everything that I could within my power to make things right in a certain situation, and it wasn't working, and it wasn't helping those that needed help. So I stepped away from something and took a $10,000 a year pay cut. Thankfully, that position was only a month, and I found something did a lot better. But I was willing to take that $10,000 a year pay cut just to be in a different position somewhere else that I felt like I was actually helping. I'm helping professions. That's what I'm in, helping profession. And I really thank God that I found something that was more lucrative that is actually been doing better at helping people. So glad that I found that. But yeah, I absolutely, I couldn't, I couldn't like stay in that system when I felt like the system wasn't actually dedicated to the mission of helping the individuals that we were supposed to be helping. And so I had to step away. And I knew that the team that was there was going to be able to help in the ways that they could, but my soul could not take that anymore. And I may have sent a bunch of barn burner emails on the way out. And then some stuff ended up getting addressed, but it was too little too late, and I just had a bad taste in my mouth, and I couldn't respect the quote unquote leaders there. So, but I'm in a lot better spot now. That actually gives a crap. The leaders are actual leaders. The work that I'm doing actually helping people, and you feel gratitude from the people that you're working with, which is nice. So, but this secondary trauma stuff is real, and it sucks when you feel just useless. And that's kind of the stuff that sounds like he's talking about. He's sitting there doing everything he's doing it by the book, doing his job, being a detective, but not able to actually help the people that need the help. And God bless him for coming out on a huge show like this and hopefully getting something addressed.
Even though I know they'll come after me for it, my next biggest fear is that they're just going to take me off the table and they're going to fucking put me on administrative leave for 10 years until I'm forced to retire, and I'm never going to be able to help a kid again.
There's other ways you
and
can
that's
do it.
going to make me cry.
As he sips from his bad bitch mug.
We'll make sure that
I
doesn't
love
happen.
arresting bad guys.
You make a change,
I
brother.
feel like Rich is
You got contacts in the White
becoming
House?
a cop.
You got contacts in the Pentagon?
I'll put it this way: we got some contacts that could probably make this
terrifying for a lot of people.
Yeah. Well,
it's all fun and games until you get a call from your boss's boss's boss.
Yeah. So like
in DC.
So I knew, and like not to, pump you guys up, but you're kind of a big deal.
You ever see
Good
Good Will Hunting?
What's that?
Good Will Hunting.
What about it? Yeah, one of my favorite movies.
Is that the autistic guy
Robert
who
Williams. What's Robert Williams telling? It's not your fault.
Oh, bro, don't.
It's not your fault.
Yeah, that's my line.
It's not your fault.
It's not my fault. I know. Well, I didn't cause the situation, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to catch flack for it. And I'm okay with catching flack for it. What I don't want is to like not do the thing that I'm good at that I love.
We'll make sure that never happens.
Yeah, you got a couple million homies.
We will dump whatever's needed to keep that going.
Goes to war.
I'll fucking
looking at our combined numbers, it's like my gang's bigger than yours.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'm invited, but I'm down. Let's do it.
Yeah. So,
fuck. Well, that was a little heavy.
Crime for the mandated reporter to not report it, though.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Powerpuff Girl
Is
shirt.
it not a crime for the mandated reporter to
So,
not report?
Let me.
That is, you're a mandated reporter. You're supposed to report that shit. You can lose your license. You can face prosecution. Yeah. But when they're all when all the other mandated reporters are covering each other's fucking asses, and when you hit a damn public school representative with, you're going to report this, right? And you're met with, well, I don't really think we need to do that. And you're somebody who knows what that's supposed to be, and you check their ass and you do the reporting, well, they don't like that shit. They want to keep that in-house. No, you got to do your fucking job. But yeah, absolutely, you lose your license, you can be sued, you can face prosecution. He's going to probably say the same shit, or he might say something slightly different. I don't know. He's a cop, so he might have a little bit more detail on what specific things happen in this instance. So it's all on what you can prove. So, yeah. Homeschool your kids if you can.
Tell you something, right? It's a slippery slope, which is one of the reasons why I think there's been like some pushback. I don't say pushback, but it's a slippery slope, and that's why it's difficult to charge not reporting when you're a mandated reporter. In New York State, there is New York State penal law. I forget which one it is, but it's failing to report. Right now, that can fall under.
No, you can spank your kids, Entropy. No, that it's just there's a level. Like, you just gotta. You can absolutely spank your kids. It's discipline. Just trying not to do it out of anger. I'm doing it for a reason, and I like to explain whenever I have to give my kids a spanking. I explain why, so they understand. It's not just a hit. It's like there's a reason behind this. You know, I don't want to do this, but this is what's happening. You know, but yeah, you said your wife's a mandated reporter, keeps the boys from the belt. Yeah,
I'll give you two examples that are very different, right? Failing to report can be the situation that I talked about the girl going to a school counselor and saying, you know, something's happening to me and them not reporting it, right? It can also technically under the law, right, the white and black of it, it can also be done if you beat up your kid, a 911 call, and I am a police officer and I come up and I arrest you for that and I take you to jail, but I don't report it.
Oh.
So that's one of the things that's kind of keeping like the police, I think, potentially at bay, is that there's instances where the police made an arrest.
Oh, shit. And maybe they didn't think about it. They're figuring they're the ones that are handling it, so maybe
but they didn't report, which is like, to me is bullshit. They made the arrest. The arrest has been effected. A rookie cop would assume that I've done literally the highest amount of shit I can do. I've effected an arrest. I haven't just taken a report and sent it forward. I've made an arrest. New York State now knows that this person has been arrested for child abuse, and they bring him in. And so I know that that's one of the issues when it comes to going.
I would think in a situation like that, you would have some coaching and retraining. That's what I would think.
For somebody that has a failure report, because if the legal system is the legal system, if you do it for one person, you got to do it for them all. And sometimes
there's discretion though, and the circumstances need to be considered. So like,
you know, people in the legal system don't see the gray, and the gray is the police officer made a good judgment by effecting the arrest and maybe failed to report. But in that failure to report, it wasn't an intentional failure to report. He made an arrest and assumed that that was enough, which I think we can all agree is like an understandable mistake.
Yeah.
Right. You put that in front
when
of
you have a good system, it works.
Yeah.
God, our
you know,
system
if
is
you
so
effect an
fucking
arrest, why
broken.
should you have to make a report? That should be done by maybe a report technician or by New York State by checking a box and saying, oh, hey, this person was arrested for this. We'll fill out this report automatically from CPS. But that's very different from my example of the school counselor failing to report not once, and I'll even let that one slide. Like, fuck it. Hey, my dad beats me. All right, this kid's a liar a little bit. Where are the bruises? I don't see any bruises. Well, I stay home, so then I don't have bruise up that well. Like, all right, this is weird. You should report that.
Yeah.
But everybody makes a mistake. All right, cool. You got one. But if some kid fucking shows up to you with a recording on their phone, and says, hey, this is me, and then walks away, and then later on in the day, you go back to that kid and then confirm that it's them, fuck off.
Yeah.
You don't get to do your job anymore because you can't. You're inept.
Yep.
So those are two different things.
They will. There's a difference between keeping a warm body and having a necrotic, rotting body in a position. A lot of the times people want to keep the warm bodies, but they don't realize what they've got is actually a gangrenous pustule, gangrenous growth on whatever company or system or school or whatever that you've got. So there's a difference between a warm body and a rotten flesh.
Things. And that's one of the things that I've noticed is like this slippery slope thing. If you go against the counselor that did the obvious wrong, that can bring in litigation to say, well, we have to treat the officers that didn't do the CPS report, Child Protective Services report, when they made the arrest. But at the same time, like I said, there's gray, there's understanding. There is, what do we call it? Officer discretion. That officer discretion can be passed down to the fucking ADAs. Which means that if I see something happen, let's say a traffic ticket, you go through a stop sign, I have the discretion to not give you a stop sign ticket. The ADAs, the district attorney, has the discretion to say, all right, you effected an arrest. You weren't intentionally not reporting a CPS thing. You made an arrest and thought that was good enough. You made a mistake. hey, next time, fix that, right? And then you also have the discretion to then arrest that school counselor that fucked up until the third time that kid came into school black and blue, and I had to arrest her blood father.
That's crazy.
So
we policing.
Yeah.
Dude, I love it. It's great. And I never expected to have like this emotional like reaction to it. But like
it seems like the dichotomy between like it's awful to experience, but it's also awful knowing that if I'm not there to stop it, it'll keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that. Like, dude, it's like being to fucking pump my own horn.
That was tough. That takes a lot of prayer and a lot of self-reflection, for sure. To step it away from it and knowing that you're not there to help in the way that you've been trying to help. Yeah.
It's like being a drill sergeant. If I see a private fuck up and they do the wrong thing and all the other drill sergeants are like, well, you gotta be careful on that one. That one might make a complaint on you. I'm like, fuck that. I'm going to do the right thing. And I'm going to discipline that private. Well, the same thing here. Like, fuck the people that aren't doing their job. They should do their job. Especially when it comes to kids. Especially when it comes to kids. And if you make a mistake, hey, listen, we're reasonable people. We made a mistake. Don't do that again. Okay, cool. If you are, what would you call it?
Intentional.
Reckless.
A cover-up.
A cover-up. Intentionally preventing the district attorney's office from gathering information after you're subpoenaed by court orders or judges, etc., then fuck you. If you're deleting evidence, you. So it's come to that point where
he's trying to talk.
Oh man, I've been like stressing about it for like the past like 5 days. Ever since I like decided that something had to happen and I didn't know what to do. And I was like, man, I think I'm going to bring it up on the podcast.
We got your back. I'll fucking
Yeah, you are a bad bitch.
Dude, I picked the right mug.
Dude, thank you.
So, I'm not
thank
gonna lie,
you.
though.
Thank you first off. First off, hey, thank you.
Yeah,
Seriously, from
dead serious.
Thank you, brother. Like that takes a lot of balls doing the right thing. A lot of people don't do the right thing, as it said.
My arm around you.
Don't touch it. It's taken so much to not hug you.
Yeah,
this
like,
whole time.
Don't do it on camera. I don't people don't need to see me be all weepy.
How do you want us to start?
What's that?
How do you want us to start?
I think that if
we just did.
Yeah.
No, I know we did. Just what's the opening move?
I'm not gonna lie. Like hearing you talk about that, and then Brandon brought up the whole like, if you're not there, then who else is gonna do it?
Dude, there's a lot of people that care that don't know what to do.
Yeah,
and they're like, we're trying to do it. We're trying to move it forward, and I'm like, it's not fast enough. This isn't. You know what? We've been in the same spot for 2 years. Heaven help us if how long we've been in that same spot before I got to the Special Victims Unit. Right? I know we've been in the same spot since I became a detective and went to the Special Victims Unit in 2023. And if we were still in that, if that spot is where we're at now, I don't know how far back that beginning was. And like I said, there's a lot of good people in the ADA's office, in the commissioner's office of my police department. There are good people that have been trying to find a way to fix it. And they're frustrated. And they're limited with, what they can do. They're just limited. Like, hey, man, I'm pushing up the chain of command. I keep making these things. I keep saying these things. And you like, I'm doing it. I'm not ignoring it. And like I said, it's been weighing on me. I started getting counseling last week.
No, it's a good thing though. That's a really good thing.
It's been fucking me up. So I got counseling last week, and then
proud of you, brother.
Yeah, thank you. And then a couple of days ago, I couldn't sleep.
And we'll make a difference the best we can.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Oh, Rich, I think we can all say you're not ever going to be jobless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but man, I really like this job. I tell you, the police. I mean, I'm talking about police. Man, I really love being a cop. Man, I love being a cop.
Well, outside of all the millions of fake people, You know we all love you, brother.
Yeah, shut up. All right, let's say some jokes for the after show now.
Hey, Rich. I speak for the entire table. We will always have your back, no matter what, buddy. The entire community will rally behind you. Thank you so much for opening up, showing that side to the world. You and your lady, Tay, are amazing, amazing humans. Be proud of everything you've accomplished in this life and continue to accomplish. You guys are going to be fantastic parents. We are blessed to call you a friend. We are blessed to share the room with you and experience those
The law
laughs.
with the claw.
We're blessed to call you a business partner. Keep kicking ass and taking names, man. To the audience out there that might not know Rich, Angry Cops, you're talking to a dude that loves being a police officer, loves being a detective.
He might get back
Most
on Timcast.
importantly, loves helping others.
He was on Angry Cops was on with Good Logic and Pisco, whatever the fuck his name is. I think it was Pisco. They were talking about the no, it wasn't Pisco. It was somebody else. They were talking about wait a sec. No. It was Law of Self-Defense, Bronca, Angry Cops, and another guy, and they were talking about the Metcalf incident with the Carmelo Anthony stabbing. That's the one that was. That was a really good discussion. They all kind of agreed though. So I saw earlier somebody was rumble ranting, and some super chats came in asking Tim Pool about this incident, and he said it sounds like they're going to try to get him back on. So yeah, it was Bronco and Entropy. You're right. Good Lord. I had some pizza rolls earlier, and they just came back and said hello. Oh, that was awful. Oh. And we'll finish this out.
Still in the military as a drill sergeant. He doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to be a police officer.
Nope.
He chooses to be because he actually cares and he actually wants to make a difference. That is so rare to find a human like that. And that's why he is a very, very, very good friend, and why I stress how lucky we are to have an individual like that in our lives. Be proud of yourself, man. I hope you know that. That is from all the love from all the guys. We are just blessed to have you in our lives, my friend. And I know it wasn't easy doing that message, crying on camera and then crying in front of others it's difficult. It's not an easy thing putting yourself out there like that. And you did.
God.
And you have so much respect from all of us. So thank you, buddy. Thank you for being who you are, my friend. I love you, my man. I'd give you a hug if I could.
All right. Well, look at that. Oop. Might have to check that out another time. That was pretty heavy, though. That was pretty damn heavy. And when you're in a position where you're trying to help others, and you're met consistently with roadblock after roadblock after roadblock, it weighs on you. It definitely does, and you can tell with Rich, with Angry Cops, it absolutely weighs on him. But hopefully something positive comes from him talking about it and being as open about it as he was. Baltimore Public School did have a response. I think I got that. Did I? Maybe. What was their response? Let me look. Let me find it real quick. Here it is. So, here's the response from Did I say Baltimore again? Buffalo Public School. Gosh, I'm still kicking myself for that. Here's their response. Buffalo Public Schools. Statement from Buffalo Public School. Buffalo, New York, April 26, 2025. The Buffalo Public School District is aware of unfortunate and recent allegations circulating in an online video. The district is prepared to vigorously address these untruths. The district has prioritized the safety and security of its students, liars, and staff every day. BPS, Buffalo Public School, is the second largest district in New York State with some 60 schools, 30,000 students, and 7,000 staff, and any transgressions that may happen are handled swiftly with serious integrity, fairness, and empathy. The Buffalo Public Schools maintains a close and professional relationship with the Buffalo Police Department as a means to ensure that safety is a priority. That's a bunch of a coached statement there. So Infantry Dort said, all right, so he had a pretty big damn post about it. So there's something in me, primal in me, that stirs when I see a good man dragged through the mud for daring to speak the truth, especially when it's a veteran, especially when it's a good one, especially when it's a man who spent years defending others only to watch cowards in suits and cowards with microphones try to destroy him for doing the right thing. That is a lot. I am not going to get through all that. But yeah, I empathize with that. I do. Habitual line crosser. I'm going to check him out. Does he have a Rumble? Probably not, because all those guys didn't want to mess with Rumble. They did their own thing, and God bless them, because it's doing well. So, the gun tubers. Yeah, absolutely. That link to that episode is in the description. Click on that link. Like that video. Follow Unsubscribe Podcast on the YouTubes. So I don't think they're on Rumble, which is sad. You should get on Rumble, guys. Come on, man. You do well. Sounds like the one writing this was involved. Maybe. Are you talking about the statement from Buffalo Public School, or are you talking about the guy? Yeah, probably that. Man. Need to slap the NPC emote. I might have to find that, Dirk. Sometimes you do gotta slap it at beach. You gotta slap the NPC. I'll have to look into that. Might have to make that happen. All right. So that was pretty heavy. But you know what? We got a palate cleanser topic. That we do. Let's go ahead and do a recap first, though. We're at almost 3 hours. A recap of the show tonight. Tonight we talked about the blue issues, guys. Sound alert: if you have earbuds or headphones, this is a loud sound that I'm about to play. But the first topic, we talked about the blue suit, guys. The blue suit that Trump wore, disrespecting the Pope. Here comes the sound. So there was that. Trump blue suit, very disrespectful to the Pope. No, he wasn't, because like 15 or 20 other people had blue suits as well. The media lies and lies and lies all the time, making it an issue when it really is not an issue. Then, the second topic, we discussed the Putin ceasefire, May 8th, 9th, and 10th for the Victory Day. They're going to be doing parades and having Xi Jinping and other world leaders there in Russia, so they kind of want to do a ceasefire. Hopefully, Ukraine will adhere to that and not try to fuck things up, but they are wont to do so. We shall see. Still loud as fuck. I warned you, Entropy. It means turn the volume down, damn it. That's what the warning was for. I said it's going to be loud. It means dial it down just a little bit. I'll try to figure out a way to adjust that. What's up, Andre Corbell? What does the blue suit Trump mean? Just got here. Well, at the very beginning of the show, we talked all about that. The media response to Trump wearing a blue suit to the Pope's funeral, when apparently the Vatican said that you should wear a black suit and a black tie, and he was the only one being so disrespectful. Well, no, Andre Cobrell. Actually, it turns out there were like 20 other people wearing blue suits, and it's not a big issue in the media. Guess what? They lied. They're full of crap. They're making it a deal when it's not. Also, first time I've seen you here. Welcome to the Dozer Den. If you have not followed this channel yet, go ahead and smash that follow button. If you have not liked this stream yet, go ahead and give that like button all the attention that you can. You followed the sound warning, Coco to Minky. She picked up on what I was putting down. Or he. Shit. I don't know why I assumed you were she. Why do I assume that you were she? Oh, shoot. Sorry if I have assumed your gender incorrectly. Zell wore a sweatshirt. Clearly media misdirection. Absolutely, Andre Corbeil. Just a second here, guys. I got to put up the divider. Lady Dozer cometh to bed. Just a second here. Yes. Should have a bumper or something like that for when I do this. It's so hot up here. Hate it. Is it colder outside? Say 74?
Yeah.
Maybe. And there we go. But yes, that was the first topic. And then we got into the Putin ceasefire, and whether or not that happens, we'll see. The third topic, we talked about the Baltimore, I did it again, Buffalo public school system covering up child sexual abuse, and how we talked a little bit about how public schools, want to try to keep that within the system. Little CYA kind of stuff that public schools will do often, and yeah. Oh, you are a she. Well, then I have done the right thing. She paid attention to the warning. But sorry if that borders self-promotion. What'd you got there? Were you doing a little promotion? Check me out too. Just under 40k subs. Hell yeah. On Rumble? That's fucking solid. Congrats. Spread the word of the Dozer Den if you feel so inclined. Oh, I got you. I followed you. Heck yeah. Thanks so much for hanging out in the Dozer Den. Appreciate you, bud. I stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Central. Usually cover about 3 to 4 news topics, and then we have a bit of a palate cleanser at the end, which we will be getting into here in a minute. And then Saturday streams, a little bit more laid back, Dozer Decompress. We have one topic, usually not a very serious one. Maybe watch some funny clips. And then as we're doing that, I'm taking music video requests on Saturday for the Dozer Den DJ Hour. We have ourselves a damn good time on Saturdays. Went like 4 hours this last Saturday, so. But appreciate you. Absolutely. Just got to smash that like button, guys. That's right. We're up to 34. Not too bad. Almost 1,000 views. Not too bad there either. Not sure why we didn't. Andre, we're at the palate cleanser because we had some pretty heavy topics that we were discussing. As Angry Cops, Rich was talking through the issues of the Buffalo public school system and running into stonewalling when trying to help kids that have been hurt. We talked about secondary trauma a little bit. Talked about how different professions will run into this type of thing and ways that try to handle it appropriately. And it's not easy, and we're human beings. And he obviously was very emotional. So, shit, are you Canadian, Andrea Corbeil? Oh, Mark Carney. It's a circus. Carney. The jokes write themselves. Prayers to the Frostbacks, our hat. They're struggling. But we're going to do a palate cleanser segment. Speaking of, sadness and secondary trauma and PTSD and stuff like that. Apparently, LSD, guys. LSD is being considered for treatment for mental illness. Is it straight LSD? I think it might be a derivative. But we've got an article we're going to read through here. Snow Mexicans. Let's check out this article here. And the articles, to the links to the articles and the videos that I've played this stream are in the description. So check that. You're in Alberta. Oh my goodness. I heard that Alberta at some point might be one of the ones that if it was going to be, if it was going to secede, that might be one of the provinces to do so. Just don't bring your commies. All right. We'll welcome you in. Just don't be commies. Good Canucks. All right, so let's talk about some happy stuff. Let's talk about LSD possibly being tweaked to help people with mental illness. Apparently, this is from the Good News Network, by the way. It's where I get some of my happy stories that I like to throw in at the end of the streams every now and then. LSD tweaks to harness therapeutic power for mental health without hallucinogenic effects. Well, that doesn't sound any fun. With its ability to aid in enhancing neuroplasticity, the famous hallucinogenic compound, LSD, has been theorized as a treatment option for neurological disorders like cognitive decline and schizophrenia. LSD and schizophrenia. What could go wrong? Oh, man. Alberta 51 Hope. Hey, you know what? As long as you're not bringing the commies, we'll take you in. Yeah, we want the best. We want the best for you. Well, neuroplasticity, So it's probably looking at this derivative. Maybe not necessarily. I forgot what LSD stands for. Lysergic something. I don't know. So it's been theorized as this. It's not. This is not gospel, Trish. This is just something that is interesting and maybe beneficial. I'm thinking maybe stick to the natural stuff like shrooms, maybe. One wouldn't want to dose a schizophrenic with LSD, but following the synthesis of a new molecule based on LSD at a laboratory in California, they may never need to. Well, hey, JRT, not LSD, is identical to LSD within a margin of 2, count them, 2 atoms, y'all. And it was created at the University of California, Davis to solve existing shortages of potent neurotherapeutics for use in treating schizophrenia and cognitive decline. A study that tested JRT in mice found that it could elicit a 46% growth in the density of dendritic spines on the exteriors of neurons. So that's helping with like the neurological decay that happens with like Alzheimer's and dementia, possibly. These organelles work a little like antennae and receive input from synapses, or the connections between neurons that drive cognitive function. Well, that's interesting. Lysergic acid diethylamide. I had the L right, kind of. Thank you. Appreciate you, Coco. Let's see. Synapses were also found to be increased under the influence of JRT by 18% in the prefrontal cortex. However, unlike LSD, there was no indication whatsoever that the mice were undergoing hallucinogenic effects. Well, could you ask them? Could you ask the mice? No. Evidently, they were very quiet about their hallucinations. Maybe they were scared. They didn't want to bring attention to it. So they just kind of kept it on the DL. Nor did it promote gene expression associated with schizophrenia, something that is amplified in LSD use. Basically, what we did here is a tire rotation. Okay, I like that metaphor. Said corresponding author David E. Olson, director of the Institute of Psychedelics and Neurotherapeutics at UC Davis. By just transposing 2 atoms in LSD, we significantly improved JRT's selectivity profile and reduced its hallucinogenic potential. All right. What's up, Sam Duty? Good to see you. You don't need LSD, you have Jesus? Well, hell yes. The development of JRT emphasizes that we can use psychedelics like LSD as starting points to make better medicines that can be used in patient populations where psychedelic use is precluded. Well, there you go. This work was overseen by Yuri Manor, assistant professor at UC San Diego School of Biological Sciences, whose lab provided state-of-the-art electron microscopy of the mice's brains. JRT produced robust antidepressant effects, with it being around 100-fold more potent than ketamine, the state-of-the-art fast-acting antidepressant. It also promoted cognitive flexibility, successfully addressing deficits in reversal learning that are associated with schizophrenia. Words are hard, guys. Jesus heals us in ways unknown. With the Dribbling Jesus, that right there, Dribbling Jesus, one of the emotes you can get if you subscribe for $5 a month to Bulldozer 74. Check it out. It's worth your time. It's worth the money. Boom. Jesus. That, or you could gift out subs. That is an option. If you want to spread love to the chat, you can gift out subs. 100 times horsepower. Yes, indeed. 100 more. Wow. I've never had ketamine, but apparently it's a fast-acting antidepressant. Didn't really know that's what it was for. I've always heard people getting in K-holes and partying. I didn't know it actually had a medical treatment. I mean, I've heard that people would use it, but didn't know that it actually was a recognized one, I suppose. Existing pharmaceutical options for schizophrenia, the authors explain, come with major side effects like tardive dyskinesia and are only administered as a last resort. Though the principal target of the study was schizophrenia, the improvement in neuroplasticity could have therapeutic effects in other neuropsychiatric and neurodegenerative diseases characterized by synaptic loss and brain atrophy, something the team is currently testing more and which represents the next phase of this exciting research. I would say it is exciting, but I do also realize that this is something that is going to be, they're going to make their money off of it. That's what they do. That's kind of the name of the game, I suppose. But there are probably other natural alternatives that are doing similar things. Evidently, that college deals with this stuff specifically. But finding grants to be able to do this research is probably kind of hard based on the schedules for these things. But the fact that they're pushing acid over mushrooms, another confirmation of the big pharma industrial. Yes, exactly. Keep it if they could keep it natural, like microdosing with mushrooms. There are people that do this very successfully. It's non-habit forming, from what I understand, and it does like a little bit of a reset to the brain, and helps the neural networks, from what I understand. So there's absolutely healthy ways to use psychedelics. I mean, it's all throughout literature, throughout thousands of years back. I mean, they talk about accessing the like the burning bush and stuff like that. People might have theorized that was the acacia bush. There are a lot of natural remedies that people can use. So, yeah, guys, if you haven't checked out Andre Corbeil, go ahead and check out his channel. Almost 40,000 followers. Absolutely amazing. Hope you're enjoying the show so far, Andre Corbeil. Friend took several supervised ketamine treatments. He was crazier than before, honestly. Well, shoot, that's not good. And it's not for everybody. Sanglant says that Florida hospitalist Johns, I think it was covered pretty well. Hospital case. Yeah. They're going to try to get people on more drugs because Big Pharma is going, I don't know if they're going broke yet. Maybe with RFK Jr. in there, maybe we'll start to see something like that. That'd be nice. But there you go. Well, I appreciate the heck out of you, Andre. Trying to get to 1,000 followers here on Rumble. We're at 868 the last I checked. Not too bad. I do my thing here. The goal of this channel, infotainment. Information in an entertaining way, hopefully. If I can make a crap sandwich just a little bit more palatable, I feel like I've done my job. And I will say, chat is king. You guys are freaking awesome. Especially Cheddar Steve for holding me to it with that $250 donation, Venmo donation on Saturday. I have been having this running thing. So I've been growing my hair out for about 2 years. Lady Dozer's been wanting me to cut the hair. And I've kind of said a few times, hey, over the last few months, if somebody wanted to donate $200, I'll cut my hair. I'll do the fade up. It's a 1, 2, 3, what I usually do. Tag well for subgrowth. I have got to do better at the tagging, for sure. I added some more tags after I put the stream out, so heck yeah. But he said, would you shave it for $250? I consulted with Lady Dozer, and on Thursday, we are going to be cutting my hair and then shaving my hair down to the scalp. I've done it before. It's been a few years since I've done that, but I can't do it now because so curly. I like it. Well, I didn't know I had curly hair, but I have a rock concert to go to on Wednesday. I'm going to go see Beartooth in St. Louis at the Pageant. It's going to be a grand time. They're going to be having the Callous, Dowboys, Gideon, and Deadeyes are going to be the tagging along. So it's going to be a good time. I have to have the hair to headbang. So that's why Thursday is when we will be cutting the hair on stream. I may do a mohawk before I go because I don't think the mohawk, with how long my hair is, I don't think the mohawk will let me fit in my car. Yeah, it's too long. So I will just be rocking out on Wednesday. Damn right. We rock out hard. The bald, exactly. The bald dozer. Yes, the bald dozer. That's what it's going to be. Oh, man. I'm going to get sunburn on my head. It's getting to be warmer outside. All right. Who are we going to raid, though, guys? Who do we want to raid here on Rumble? Because we will play the Dozer Den theme. And I usually play about a minute or two of the Dozer Den theme song before I go ahead and officially confirm the raid. So, who is live right now? On pill.net, I am... Hey, Cool Frog's on. Let's raid Cool Frog. That's what we'll do. He's got 370 people watching. What? That's a lot. I bet you he got a raid from like Good Logic or something. Hell yeah, man. Glad to see Cool Frog doing well. Let's do a raid for him. And So we like to do that here on Rumble. We like to spread the love, send people out. But hang out for a second here, Andre, and tell me what you think of the Dozer Den theme song. I made it with AI. Suno, I think it turned out pretty well, and the audience seems to agree. But let's go ahead and get that ready. We will raid him here in a second. Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Dozer Den. I appreciate the heck out of your support in whatever way you may be able to support this channel, sharing this stream out, reposting here on Rumble, commenting in the comment section, following all the things, guys. Thank you so freaking much. Oh, Viva rated him. Nice. Still going. All right, we will rate him. So let's go ahead and play the song, and then I will definitely confirm the raid to Cool Frog. Heck yeah. All right, let's go ahead and start jamming to the Dozer Den theme song. You guys have been awesome.
Land of power, land of might, exceptional rage, endless fight, patriot bulldozer, leading the way, crushing all foes, making them pay. Flag in hand, fury in eyes, screams of pride, ignoring lies, iron grip, ruthless and cold, American dream, fierce and bold, bow before the storm, unstoppable wave, marching forward, no soul to save, bulldozers wrath, tearing apart, exceptionalism, fire in the heart, no retreat, no surrender, bulldozers force, a savage offender, red, white, blue, burning bright, in the chaos he finds delight, blazing trails of destruction left, in the name of the blessed theft, freedom's price, a crimson blade, bulldozer, savage again, legend made, bow before the storm, unstoppable wave, marching forward, no soul to save,
right, raid confirmed over to Cool Frog, guys. I will be back tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. Central. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a good one.